Let me see. Oh, I got a few comments to see you checked in. Yes, I know, Delphine. I'm very excited about that. And my watch time hours is 300 away from being 3,000 in the 365 days you have to have. So I'm very, very close. Yes, thumbs up. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sharon. Congratulations, Sharon, for winning that. You know, I signed up for that bag designing class. I watched the first one. Couldn't do it live, but the first one I watched it after, and I couldn't watch the other two because work. I got a little overwhelmed, and I never got to finish it. I'm very, very upset about that. And Sharon, you know what's funny? I don't have friends I have some family members that my cousin, she retired, so she's been doing little sewing, but it's been like with fabric and stuff, just fun stuff, just because, you know, kill time, and made some t-shirts, so she does it for fun. But that's the only person that I really know that's into sewing it, that's friends of mine, as I would say friends. Oh, thank you, Delphina. Catching up on some comments real quick. Okay. Hi, Lindiana, Nancy, and Delphina, and then Sharon, all you guys. Appreciate your continued support. So I wanted to, and I've been working. I tell you what, this bag, I cut it last night. I got it all cut last night within a couple of hours. I spent lunchtime, and then I got off work. I just worked 8.5 hours today to come down here to get everything prepped, so we are not spending, oops, I just knocked my scissors in the garbage. So we're not spending hours upon hours getting this bag done, so we can get it done tonight. So why is it on? That's not what I want. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull this up. I think now I can pull up. That's what I want right there. Okay. All right. So in case, let me see if I can make it to where you can see it. I don't have one of the bags completed. I sold one in the other in my show this weekend, the floral one that that's in the picture. The floral one is the one that sold. The other one, a lot of people wanted the purple roses one, but I think they ended up going with something else. But they really like this bag. But this is what we're sewing. It's the Evanna Tote. It's by Hallel Patterns. Oops, I probably should move my laptop over. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I got this actually at Walmart a couple years ago. And this is just fleece. I can't wear like a heavy sweater, but this is my ugly sweater shirt. And I had it on for my meeting today at work. One of the girls noticed it and commented on my cute shirt, but you could see from here up, because I try not to make my, camera film everything around me when I'm in my meetings, because we do our meetings through Teams. But anyway, so this is what we're sewing. It's the Evanna Tote. There's a picture of it. I sewed half of it. I've got like half of it done. And I did all of that within the last probably 3 hours, just rushing to get things done to be ready. And it's really not really a long show, a long show. I'm reading comments. I'll mention it in just a second. But anyways, so it's really cute bag. Of course I already did a full tutorial on it, but I thought it would be fun to do a live on this pattern. I'm just scrolling down to get to the focusing on the exterior of the bag. That's what I wanted to do. I've got the lining done, so I didn't want to rehash how to do a zipper panel or a zipper pocket and a slip pocket. I mean, a lot of us mostly know that, and it's in my tutorial if anybody's not sure how to do that. So I didn't want to rehash all of that. I wanted to get the zipper placket done beforehand, but I didn't get a chance to get that done. But anyways, my show this weekend, let me get to that. I really have to keep my glasses on so I can see the comments. So I did very well at the show this weekend. I did have discounts. I started out with a discount, mainly because I still had stock. Actually, I still had stock from last year that never sold. Some of it, of course, I didn't carry around with me the whole year, but what I took to this show, I took everything I made, everything. That's why it looked like it was stocked, because I took everything, I discounted it, and then the last hour, I did a huge discount in the last hour, and did pretty well in that last hour as well. It did slow down a little bit mid-afternoon. It was like from 9 to 3, and this show, I noticed this year, there wasn't as many people coming, but I still did well considering I didn't see as much traffic as I did last year when I did this show. And this show is the first craft show I did last year. So I was happy with what I made. Of course, I'm not ever happy when I have to discount my stuff to sell it, but that's just, I think, how a lot of us are, because, it's like our babies. It's like Linda said on My Handmade Space's favorite pattern designer, it's like trying to pick your favorite child. It's like your bags are your babies, and it's hard to let them go, and then discounting them knowing that they're worth more than what you sell them for. But I did sell. So I'm not complaining at all. And I do still have stock left, but I'm going to try to list. I'm going to try to get stuff loaded on Etsy. That's my goal these next 2 months when I'm not doing shows. I'm going to try to get into a show in February. There's a school next year in February that's already taking vendors applications. So, and I'm going to try to concentrate more on schools. Well, Marilyn, maybe just probably pay off my Tulip Bee order. I mean, I made enough to pay it off and then some, but yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah. So I'm working on trying to concentrate more on some schools and local vendor shows or craft shows, because I tend to do better at those. I really kind of want to get away from the outdoor. I just don't do great on the outdoor shows. Don't know why. I think it's because that people are there for other things, or think it's more, unless it's more of a artesian or artsy show. I'm probably going to try stay away from that. We do have a big, huge show here where I live in Boone County, and it is outdoors, and it's like a 3-day event, and it's really focuses on local artisans. I guess you could say that word. I don't know, but anyways, it's a big show. I might try anyway. Let's get started. So, is Nancy. I think that's what it boils down to. It's nothing against, I mean, because like one was, I was at a kind of a fair type atmosphere, and they set up craft vendors off to the side, and I did have a steady flow there. I mean, it wasn't packed or anything, but they wanted, and like I say, nothing against them, but they wanted really cheap things, and I didn't have my cheap things there at that show. And that's not really what I want to focus mostly on. I do want to have cheaper things, and I get that, but I don't want to focus too much on cheap things. But everybody loved my tulip pouches that I made when I did my sewing last week. Everybody loved my little pouches. I sold a bunch of those. Yeah. But let me show the panel of what I've done doing tonight. So I ordered and got one of Tulip Bee's scrap boxes. If there's any left, you guys, it's a terrific deal. You do have to pay for postage. because it's pre-boxed, it's a set price, and it's below the, you know, the free shipping price. But this top panel is part of what I got in my on my box, and this is her faux real, not faux real. I'm sorry, I lied. This is her Persuade Me. So this pink is a suede, faux suede, and then I decided I wanted to quilt the top of this bag because I had already done prints on my others. But I mean, and this is the bag. This is her Obsidian Signature Smooth. This I already had this here, but I'm gonna tell you what, is this not the cutest thing I've ever seen? It's just absolutely adorable. I just love it. So I got the one panel done, and I already got the strap on. So we, you know, we've got that accomplished. The second one, I am going to do the strap to show you how it's done, things like that, because the strap is a little different than a typical rolled handle. So I wanted to go over that. So what we're going to do first is do one of the buckle straps. Okay, so I try to get half of everything done. I know, Delphina, I think the quilting set it off. And like I said, I wanted to do something completely different than my other bags, and I really struggled. And then when I got my box yesterday, and I seen this pink in there, I thought this would be perfect, and I wanted to quilt it. I just really thought that looked so cute. All right, let's get this set aside and get moving on. So the first thing I'm going to do is the buckle strap. Now, I just made one. Here it is. So in this bag, of course, you've got the buckles. Oops, I'm dropping stuff, guys. Okay, so you've got the buckles in the bag. So she has what's called the buckle straps in the bag, and this is going to be this little strap here. I already got one done. This strap is what the buckle is going to be on in your bag. So it wraps around the back of your bag, and then this will be the front of your bag here. And this is what your buckle will go through when the bag is completed. So I already did one, as you can see, but I'll show you how to do the other one. It is a way I've done something before, where like some people will do this the way we're going to show you here. Some people will do this to make a wrist strap. I've seen it done on a wrist strap before, but this is how she does the buckle. So you've got your piece here. You're going to mark your center and put some double-sided tape there. I'm going to lower my camera because obviously you don't want to see me. Yes, I did see that, Nancy. And what's funny, not funny, but what's funny is I've cut out 3 shars. Don't know why. Well, part of it is because it is such a quick cut. I mean, it just looks like a quick cut. And I decided, I got one, I made one, cut one with my roses. Yeah, right. I cut one to with what's left over of my haunted roses. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to put my finger over the camera. I'm trying to lower this enough so you can see where my, let's see, I need to, sorry, give me just a quick second. I have to raise my, shoot. Now I'm sticking my, I'm telling you what, my lives are hilarious. Sorry for the close-up, guys. All right. Y'all got to see a great look of my shirt, my ugly sweater shirt, but it's so cute. Okay. Is it Nancy? I know, was that somebody I seen commented on that was a little more difficult than they anticipated. I'm not sure who it was, but I did see that comment. So I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's not that difficult. Like I say, I've got one that was some of the leftovers of the haunted roses, so I'm making one with that. It's going to be the haunted roses with purple. It's Tulip Bee's it's a Signature Smooth. It's a purple, but I can't think of the exact color. That's going to be my piping. And then I have this faux fur that I got from Sally Tomato. We're going to fold our long edges into the center, right up to the line. So that's what I'm doing now. But anyways, yeah, so it's Sally Tomatoes faux fur. It's a it's a cow print, brown cow print. I'm gonna make one with the main body and the flap body with the print, and then the gusset's gonna be Timeless, her Sahara, I think is the color. It's like a lighter brown. And then I've got black, the Noir, her Timeless Tones Noir black as the piping for my cow print purse. And then I'm like, well, I've got a quilt one, right? Eggplant. Thank you, Lindiana. You got it. It's eggplant. So there we go. Everything's folded to the center. So it's on the long edges. And then what you're going to do, oh, I messed up already. I already messed up. Darn it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm messing up. You're going to sew. I can just do the ends like this. It's fine. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, guys. You're going to sew these ends together like this first before you do what I just did. But look, we can fix this, right? We can fix this. And my machine, I can make it go a little fast over the exposed tape, and it should be fine. I need to not talk and sew. So this is what you want to do first. You're typically, this is supposed to be open and not folded in. So sew the short ends together first, right sides together. Yes, it is. I always like when it's easy to fix. I gotta make sure I get it the right seam allowance. It's yeah, when it's not easy to fix, then you're like, oh my gosh, what do I gotta do? All right, so let's fix that. I just gotta keep it. There we go. There we go. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, so yeah, I really wanted to quilt one, so I ended up cutting. What is it? This is not required. I just snip the edges. It's not required, but I like to do that because it just gets rid of some of the bulk. So then you're going to open up your seams like that. And then you don't have to, but you can throw a little sliver of tape over just that part there where the tape isn't, where you opened your seams. I usually do because that just helps it better. Helps it to hold down better. What is what I'm going to clip? I know it's, oh, it's pink. But anyway, so I'm going to open that up like that, and then you're going to fold this into the center. Just wants to collapse on itself. There we go. So fold these to the center like that. And then get it all back together. All right, there you go. So that's what you got. So it's now it's out, wrong side out. So then you're going to take it and you're going to flip it to its right side out like that. And then you're going to fold it, you're going to flatten it like this where it's wrong sides together. And where the seam is, I typically just fold it just about 1/4 of an inch. Don't go any more than 1/4, or it will interfere with your stitching when you sew it onto your bag. So I just go about 1/4 of an inch. Let me get my scraps out of my way. Fold it down like that where it's flat. And then she gives you a measurement from this end in. She gives you a measurement to make a mark. So let me get that marked real quick. Yeah, it's actually pink and gray with gray pink faux real. So I'm making a line right there like that. And then I'm going to start sewing at the line, go down the longest space, go down all the way to the end, over, across, and back up. Don't stop or start, just make one continuous stitching, then stop right back at the line. And you'll want to you do want to pull your threads through. Because it'll show if you don't. I mean, you can, if you want to back stitch, you can, but I'm using contrasting threads. So I'm definitely going to pull my threads through to the back. Now, this will be sewed up against your bag, so you won't see when you tie your knots. And I think I did 3 knots, and it doesn't show. I just did 3 knots on this one, and then I just did a singe on the ends of the threads when I snipped it, just to help secure that. So let me do that. So then we're going to start stitching. I'm going to pull my threads long, and I'm going to drop the needle on that line, and it's just a top stitch. So you're going to go a top stitching length. I'm just going to get it moved a little bit. There we go. Dropping the needle, grab my threads, and then I'm just going to top stitch all the way around. Over. Like I said, you don't stop, and I'm just going to make a tiny little stitch here. I'm like real close to it, but not to me close enough. There we go. Bring it over. And then I'm going to stop at that line again, on the opposite side of where I started. Try to keep it even. I think I started just above that line, so I'm going to hand crank it just to make sure we're as even as possible. All right. And then we're going to pull our threads long out. Get a hold of them. And then we're going to pull the threads through to the back. Yeah, I'm using pink thread. I was trying to decide if I wanted to do the black thread on the black part of the bag, but I can't help myself. I like to, sometimes I just like to do that contrasting thread. So I did 3 little knots, and I'm just snipping it. Oops. When there's like about 1/8 of an inch away from the knot, and leaving that, and then I'll singe that off with the lighter. Just obviously be careful and don't melt your thing. Yeah, I did see, I'm going to tell you what, you guys, yes, I know that's a lot of money for a calendar, but I'm going to tell you what, the coupons, I mean, it's people that I buy from. Ravina, she had a coupon in there. And it wasn't I'm going to say it was a pretty, I mean, I can't, just be careful when you singe these down so you're not burning your stuff. And this just, to me, helps because you're melting that like plastic. So that kind of, there we go. Like I said, just be careful that you don't melt your thing. So there you go. There's that. And there's the front. Let me wipe that line off. Yeah, I've got the shars ready to go. I just got to sit down and sew them. All right. So there are my buckle straps. So you'll set these aside because these will be put on towards the end of completion of the panels. Okay. So, and then you also want to prep your, it's your connectors. She calls them, let me get the official name of them. Concealed connectors is what she's calling them. Now, the reason they are connectors to your buckles. So if they're not connectors to the bag itself, like what I want to say, it's not strap connectors. These are connectors for the buckles. So concealed connectors too is the longer pieces. Now I do add an inch to mine, and that's just so I can pull it through easier. So these are look a little longer than they do when she tells you to cut in the pattern, but that's because I add an inch to mine just to pull that through, and then I just cut that extra off. So you can prep them. You just mark your centers, fold them in just the one time, and then that's prepping these for when we get ready to use those. So these are prepped. I got my little tiny concealed connectors. One, you don't do anything with those because you will use them just as they are in the bag. So we're going to keep that all together. I'm going to keep all of this together so I have it ready when I'm good to go, especially when they're tiny pieces. Okay, so I already sewed the lining, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lining together. We'll do that. Oh, I got to do the zipper first, but I went bold on the lining. Oh, my hands. I ended up with her, what is it again? I put it in the description. I can't remember what it's called. Dayglow Fields. I decided to go bold with the lining and did Dayglow Fields for my lining. I mean, why not, right? So I already got my lining my lining ready for the zipper panel and the upper, some people call it just a little tiny, call it a little bit different. So let me just make sure how she calls it real quick. A lining contrast band. So, and this is a nice size pocket, you guys. There's the back of it. So that's a really big pocket. And then the lining I could not find anything to match my lining that looked right. I ended up finding this was almost gone because this is a real long piece. I ended up going with this. I don't even know what the color is. I either got this from Emmeline Bags or Wonderground Fabrics. I can't remember where this came from, but I know it was one of the two. So I did that. Instead of dividing my pocket as an equal pocket, I like pen spots. So I just did like a 2.5 inches away from, it's actually a little over because I counted for my 1/8 of an inch stitching, and then I went 2.5 inches over, and that's for my zipper pockets. Hello, Annette. How you doing? Showing off my Dayglow Fields. All right. But so we're gonna go ahead and get this done. I'm gonna get my zipper placket done. I didn't get it done, so we'll do the zipper placket real quick on this. Oh yeah, I was talking about the scrap box. Do you have any scrap boxes left in that? Because I was talking about if there was any left. I mean, that's just a great deal. It is an awesome deal. Even if you have to pay for the even that you've got to pay for the shipping. I'm getting the measurements for the zipper thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my zipper started. Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Let me show you real quick in that. This is this the one of the ones that you sell on your faux reel? Because this was in my scrap box. I know it's faux reel because I can tell by the feel of it and stuff, obviously. Oh, you're sold out. Good deal. Well, that's great. Well, but yeah, this is, I couldn't figure out what the color was, but I really liked it. And then I decided to quilt it because it's just so cute. All right, I'm going to do my zipper real fast. Get that melted down. Yeah, that was, and then the rolls, they were like, I mean, I think there was like seemed like there was a strip cut from one end or something, most of it, but they were like almost really, really close to being full rolls. I'm not going to lie. That's what I'm making my quilted char out of, is the Saya Pink faux reel. One of them, I should say. One of my chars, which I'm going to attempt that. I'm going to attempt them later this week. I need to get this done tonight, and then I need to get my leftover stuff from my show back down here and put away, but I got to be able to access it so I can get it listed on Etsy. But I need to get them out of the garage. It is the thing, because it's causing I'm thinking too, this is Persuade Me, not faux real. This is your faux suede. And I'm wondering if it was a tester pink, but I love it. I mean, I don't know. I think it is yeah, really? Now, yeah, this one had a it looked like it was a melted spot on it. One little spot. It was probably 3 inches by 1.5 inches. But it's gorgeous. I really, this color is beautiful. But everything else I'm using tonight is that is stocked. I didn't check to see if the Obsidian was in stock right now, because that's what I'm using for the base, is the Obsidian. But I didn't check that. I usually try to double check to make sure. So there's my little zipper. I'm going to get this cleaned up. I do try to check to make sure the stuff's in stock when I use it on a live. Well, whoever I get it from. But everybody loved that little tulip pouches. I was so embarrassed when Brittany told me. Did you tell me, Annette? Brittany, not yet, Delphina. Well, okay, I lied. I do have something out there, but I don't have anything on it. Does that make sense? There is an Etsy shop for quilted cactus shop, but it is not got anything on it. So I need to check my okay. I need to make a mark because I need to make sure I do this right. Yes, it was so funny because I was talking about doing the. If anybody had ideas, is that right? I just don't think that's. Raise the wrists of panels. Lay them right side up. Pair them to exterior. Okay. 1, 2, 3, sew along. Okay. So that's my end that doesn't get stitched on. I made a mark. I'll also do it this way. All right. Sorry, I am. But anyway, oh, she told me what I did wrong, is what Brittany said. So she must have somehow found that I did her tulip pouches, the little tulip trio pouches. And it was so funny because it's like, she told me how to fix the top stitching because I was trying to top stitch the other side after I put the lining on. And I'm like, this is so difficult. I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. If anybody's got a tip, let me know. Well, I get Brittany. She comments, and it's so funny. She told me how it's done. And I'm like, I probably should read the pattern. And I looked at it. And if I would just read the pattern, I mean, I'm so embarrassed. You know, that's funny because sometimes I just sew and I look at pictures, and that's what I did. I just looked at the picture and I didn't even think about it. I thought, oh, Annette told on me. I'm not left-handed, but I'm going to use my left hand here. Actually, my grandmother is left-handed. Well, I should say was. My mom always talked about being raised by a left-handed mother. My mom's right-handed. And she always said I was always confused by everything because I was taught everything by a left-handed mother. And it always, she always got things backwards. All right, so I'm just doing my, like I said, I'm just doing my zipper placket, folding the edges in like she says in the pattern. I wish I had this done before the live because it would really cut down on the amount of time we spend on this bag. And I just didn't want to. But I think, I mean, honestly, I think I did pretty good as far as trying to get, oh, I'm going to have to get some more tape. Getting ready for tonight. I cut this bag last night. I got it all cut last night. And then I got the panel, what I showed you that I've got done, a panel, a handle, everything at least half done. And when I got off work, but I didn't work extra today. So I hope my coworkers don't get mad at me for not staying, and they won't, but so I'm just getting my zipper placed down. She just has you sew the short ends together. I'll just talk it real quick. She has you, because if I talk you through it too much, then I'll never get this done. But she has, you sew the short ends together and then sandwich your zipper tape in between. After you make sure you fold your other end, short ends in, she gives, of course, gives you the measurement for that. So let's get this, and then we're going to go ahead and stitch this on at the seam that she gives you. There we go. All right. Oops, my thing needs to be fixed real quick. There we go. Just make sure you don't go past the end or it shows up on your zipper. All right. Now I always clip away that vinyl around the zipper teeth at the top. I clip that away to help with bulk because it just gets really bulky right there. And it kind of doesn't make the thing, but this is just something I like to do, and I will cut away a little bit of the little bit of the vinyl at the top too, because it just, when you start folding this over, it gets really it just bunches up in there, and it just is really hard to make it go flat. So you just pull it out. She seems really sweet, and what's funny, my maiden name, is Edwards. I don't so it's like, you know, I have to like her because my maiden name is Edwards. So gotta we our Edwards family, there's not a whole lot of us. The my dad, his father was killed 3 months before he was born. Was it 3 months? He died in December of 36, and my dad was born in March of 37. They lived down in Harlan, Kentucky. Yes, thank you, Delphina. But anyways, yeah. And so, my grandmother, well, she actually passed away the year before I was born. They all came to Cincinnati, and we know he had brothers, 2 brothers. We know one never had any children, never married or had any kids. And the other one we found, what's funny, we found the other one had she's a granddaughter of my grandfather's brother. She actually, what's funny is because my grandmother came to Cincinnati for work and left Kentucky, left that whole life behind, and found a relative on the west side of Cincinnati, which is not far from where we grew up. And there was a relative that we have that was close to us our whole entire life that we didn't know existed because we didn't know the Edwards. And as far as I know, that is the only Edwards that were from my grandfather's family. Now, there were, of course, he had family members, you know, these parents and stuff, but it is a question. When I did genealogy stuff, I don't do it anymore, but there was a question about his father, whether or not who he was married to. It's strange, but you never know with that kind of stuff back in the day. But yeah, I could never link them. Never could link them to be married. So there's one. It's a nice narrow little zipper placket. It's really cute. All right, let's get this other one done. Because I'm trying to rush. I'm trying to rush through this part so I can get to the most important part, which is the buckles. Doing the buckles. That's the biggest thing that I wanted to take some time on, because it does take an extra minute to do buckles. I talk too much. You know, anybody ever tell me that I talk too much? All the time. All the time. Growing up, and even after I get married, people tell me I talk too much, right? We were talking about something on Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. Thanks, Lindiana. I was talking to my brother-in-law and my niece's husband. Something about YouTube. We got discussing YouTube and talking. I need to grab another roll of double-sided, quarter-inch double-sided tape. Anyway, I was talking about, there we go. Oh, is this all I have? No, I got another one left. Okay. And I said something about I said about YouTube, and my brother-in-law, he was giving his opinion of it, which apparently he doesn't like. He doesn't care for it a whole lot, but he watches stuff on it. But anyway, he's goofy. I said, well, I was like, that's why YouTube is great for me, for people like me. I was like, because I love to talk. And I said, so I can just sit and stare at a camera or my phone and talk to people. I says, and I love the people that come to my YouTube videos when I do my videos in live. He just thinks I'm goofy anyways. But yeah. Oh. So yeah, we had what do you need? Do the buckles have to be the buckles, and I apologize, the buckles are actually 1 1/4 inch in the inside of the buckles. It's 1 1/4 inch, but you can adjust. Let me see if she put it. I don't remember if she put it in the pattern, because there was a discussion when we were testing it. The testers, some of the testers had a hard time getting buckles in time for for the final testing. But a 1 1/4 inch inside of the buckle to fit the strap, because the strap is 1 1/4 inches. Now, oh, thank you, Lindy Hannah. You can adjust it. You would just make your strap a little smaller. Let's see, what do you have? You only have 3/4 inch buckles. So that would be, you would just make your strap, Delphina, a little skinnier to when it's folded in. It comes out to 3/4 inch, which is 3 inches? No. Inch and a half, because you're only folding it in one time. If it's 3 inches, if you're doing the fold like you're doing a crossbody strap, but if you do it 1.5 inches, that would give you a 3/4 inch strap if you cut it. So that's what you would do for that. I hope I explained that well. But yeah, and the reason she did it this size because she liked Phoebe likes the larger buckle. That was what she had in mind when she designed this bag, is having the larger buckles, but she understands that not everybody either can get the large buckles or, you know, has the large buckles. So you would just adjust your strap for that. Okay. I'm just getting this marked here so I can fold it down. Did that help you out, Delphina? I think I did. I think I explained that okay. I don't want to say well, but I think okay. I'm trying to double check my thing here. I missed what Jacqueline was doing last night. I caught it at the very end of her live last night because I was cutting the bag. That's what I was doing, and I cut the very end of it, and I didn't see what little wallet she was making. Hi, Diane. Oh, that's great. I appreciate you popping in for any time that you can make it. But yeah, I just caught the end of is it Jacqueline? The moon dragon? I'm terrible, guys. I came down to cut for the pattern, and I put my tape on the wrong side. See, you know, in the tutorial I said make sure you match it before you put your double-sided tape on. And what did I do? I didn't do what I said. Ugh. So there's a reason why my tutorials sometimes go too long, because I explain things, because that's why. Oh, it was a car organizer. Huh, that's pretty neat. Yeah, I got the end of it. I didn't see when I tuned in is when she was turning and burning, and she was burning. I did catch that. That was a burn. That was a burn turn. It's really, but it turned out, I mean, I know she struggled turning it and was worrying about the corners, but I think it turned out really nice. And I think I got my light clicked right before she ended it. I was trying to get the like button and get that going. All right, let me make sure my ends line up. My ends are a little, hold on. Yeah, my ends are a little, let's see, it's going to show short. Let me get this out of the way. We're going to keep it like that. All right, so let's get this sewn on, and I'm going to have to deal with that tape on that side. The tape's not going to peel off, which is not great, but we can work with that. I can work with that. I shouldn't sew this fast. Every time I sew fast, I mess up. Oh, I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. I think it's just this weather here. They told us that we were going to get snowed in that last night, and it's like one of those things when they predict snow here. Where I live, I typically get rain or a little bit of snow. I mean, we typically get the rain where I live. Where my mom lives, which is about an hour northeast of me, they get the snow. Well, we got the snow. The airport that I live by, they predict, they had a record snowfall at the airport. They got about 4 inches of snow, And it's like, and I haven't been outside. Because it snowed. Not because it snowed. I had no reason to go outside today. Which is sad. But anyways, I'm gonna get this tape out of my way. But anyways, yeah, we got about 4 inches of snow where I live. Ugh. It's pretty for when it falls, and that's as far as I can take snow. And it's so cold now. We've got it 30 degrees. Oh no. Okay, Diane. Oh, yeah, my daughter's dog, she wanted to stay outside. Cassie, she stayed outside with her for a little bit. And then she came inside. She goes, I just stayed out long enough to make sure she'd go to the bathroom. And she's like, and this is her first snow, her first winter. Joy's first winter. She loves the snow. She just running around crazy. And then the kids next door were out today, of course, playing in the snow. And she just kept barking at them. She had to come inside. She was not very friendly to the kids. And the kids love her. But the kids can walk up to her. She lets the kids walk up to her and pet her and everything. But she was not having the kids outside playing today. But, yeah, the little girl next door loves her. She just thinks she's just the cutest thing. I mean, she is a cute dog, but Cassie calls her Good Girl Joy. That's her new name, Good Girl Joy. Oh. Yeah, pretty to look at from Florida. Pretty to look at on what's its name's who is it that had the cards? Not yeah. In pictures, postcards, yeah. That's what I like, but not in my backyard or my front yard or on my car. Ugh. I grew up in this stuff too. I was a teenager when we had the blizzards of 74, 75, 73, 74. I can't remember. 75, 76. That's what it was. Because I was in 6th grade, I want to say. 7th grade. 6th or 7th grade. And it was the goofiest thing. We were out of school for so long. They made us go to school. Couldn't go to school in the car or in the school bus because it was too bad for snow. So bad for snow. But we went to school for a half a day to get assignments because we were out of school for like a week. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense to me, but that's what we did. So there we go. There is my zipper placket. So I'm going to find my centers. I'm going to put my zipper pull on to make sure, number one, to make sure they look okay. Oh, I'll show you my buckles. So I got them off of Amazon. That's where I got my other buckles that for both bags. They're different kinds, but this is the gold ones they're like a little rounded. Only thing I don't like about them is this thing that it moves, but it seemed to work on my other bag. So I'm not overly concerned about it, but they got the rounded edge. I did put a link. Yeah, I know, Sharon. Ugh, I just wish I could get out of here. I can't move now because my mom. Now, 10 years ago, before my mom had all of her falls and everything, I could have moved to Arizona in a heartbeat, but now I can't. But anyway, I did put the link to the rounded ones from Amazon, and these are 1.25 inches between the and the open space, I guess I should say. So that is the buckles that I am using. Let me get them back in here so I don't lose them. There's the zipper pull. Is one of Kasaya's zipper pulls. Big heart. So let me go ahead and put this back together and check to make sure everything looks even. And then I'm going to find my centers with this together, because in case one of these are off a little bit on the end, if I try to do my centers, without, with that way, it could be off a little bit. I hope that makes sense. All right, so make sure everything lines up okay. I'm trying to determine. Yeah, that looks fine. So there's my little placket with my pretty big heart. So in case, now these do look pretty even, but in case these uneven at the end a little bit, it kind of looks tiny bit. That's why I want my placket to be together, because when I fold it to find my centers, I'm just going to kind of work with that. If it's like off like 1/8 of an inch, I would just kind of find the little middle to do it, and then I hold it like that. That's how I do my zipper plackets. Don't I do my center? So there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it together. It's not a big deal to leave it together. We'll work with that. So I always start with my back, and you always do your zipper placket face up, and I always put my zipper pull to the left of my zipper pocket. Wow. Whew. Oh, and this is a drop-in lining too, by the way. And you know, one thing I didn't do, and I need to, I'm gonna just hold this, clip it to hold it, and then I'm gonna grab my upper contrast band. I need to mark the top of my, oh, we got to do a handle. Darn it, guys. Ugh. There we go. Lining contrast band. I'm going to mark my top, and I think it is, I think I know what it is. I just got to find it real fast. Features of the bag, interfacing. Here it is. Pick B. Okay, yes, I was right. So let me do a quick mark and get my tops. The top of your lining contrast bands is the swoop. That's going to be the top of your bag. Because the bag has a little bit of a, I call it a swoop curve at the top of your bag. I'm looking for my ruler. There it is. So I'm going to mark what she gives you for the drop down lining. I'm going to mark one on each, little dashes on each side. 1, 2, there we go. And then I take the piece, because there's a curve in it. I'm going to take the piece and lay it down and mark that curve. That's how I do my lines on the drop-in. Do I have to take everything out to find the piece? Oh my goodness gracious, the piece is right here in front of me. I just took it off. Look at that. I really am not this. Sometimes I feel like I sound so ditzy when I do lives. I also, like I say, that's what I was starting to say. I also feel like getting a cold or something. I got a sinus headache. So I'm just marking this. Oh, my hands are killing me. There's for the drop-in lining. Yeah, if you're uh-oh. She's not good girl Joy right now, but she's getting in trouble. No good girl Joy right now. All right. I hear bad dog. All right. I'm making sure I did that right. For a minute there, I questioned myself. I feel like that's right. Whew, when I fold this, I feel like the curve is on the one end, but it's not. The curve, it's messing with my head right now. The curve is, and I don't know why. All right, I'm just marking my centers real quick on both top and bottom. So I already got it marked for the center for when I put the bag together. Make sure when you put your lining contrast band, you put it the straight side to your lining piece. That curve, again, is the top of your bag. Just be aware of that. So we're going to get it clipped. And it also has an angle where it's more narrow at the top of the bag, and then it widens out at the bottom. It's got like an angle there. It's wider at the bottom than it is at the top. All right, so let's get this on, and then, all right. And this gets sewn on at, I gotta make sure the right seam allowance here. I don't know if I can't remember if it is the regular seam allowance, but she does really good. She goes through in her pattern. She always repeats the seam allowance, even though she talks about what it is at the beginning. She always reiterates it in her pattern, which is good because sometimes with every pattern designer, some designers use a greater seam allowance, you know, a really big, generous, I guess you could say, seam allowance, as some people do. Some of the designers, my panel is below. There we go. Some designers use a Sammy from Shambhala, her seam allowance is almost always really narrow. I won't say what it is, but she's one of the ones that has the smallest seam allowance that I've noticed. Oh, are you kidding me? This happens to me only on lives. My foot comes loose. I need a new, I think I just need to get a new screw. And I think I mentioned that. I just forget about it. I need to write myself a note. It popped off. It did that to me in a live before. But it hasn't came off since that last time it popped off in a live. I can't get my screwdriver in the slot. There we go. As Barb would say, hold please. Oh my gosh. All right, let's finish this out. Let's get this bed. I was trying to make this only a 2-hour video, but we'll see. And of course, you guys, and I understand if you have to leave if it's too long. So we're going to fold our placket up and our panel up, and we're going to top stitch below the zipper placket. This, I think when I ordered this, I've had this Dayglow Fields for a while. And when I got it, I like it, but it was like, I don't know, it just seems like really busy. It's really bold. And I am one of the people that when I do like a floral exterior of a bag, I have a hard time doing different florals or different designs. And I tend to do stuff like this with solid bags, but I kept holding off using it because I felt like it was too busy for a lot of my bags. But honestly, I don't know. I think it looks really good with this bag. Maybe because it's my bag. I don't know. All right, where's my other? So let's go ahead and get this one done. I am just going to flip it and do it this way. It's not going to interfere. The zipper placket is wide enough. My zipper pull is so darn big, though, it gets in the way because this pull is so big. I love that big heart pull. So let's go ahead. Let's get this line drawn on this one. I didn't do that. Let's get my centers marked real fast too while I'm at it. But this is such a cute bag. I love this little bag. It is such a cute size. And I'm going to tell you what, if you haven't bought it, you really do need to get it. Phoebe is the sweetest person. I obviously have never met her. When I did my little Everly bag, when I did the little Everly bag, tape it down. The little free pattern that she had, you know, of course I asked her, you know, before I did it and so on and so forth. And she was very nice to say yes to do it. And she even, you know, did a little post for me on her Facebook page when I did it. And then she reached out to me to do the tutorial for this bag. And I just thought that was so nice of her to do that. And she's just a very nice person. And then I told her I was going to do the tutorial because she's 6 hours ahead. She's in Nigeria. And so she's 6 hours ahead. So I know she can't watch my lives, but she always watches my videos. Oh, thank you, Lindiana. Like, tape it down. Tape what? Oh my gosh. But anyways, which is a good thought. But it's, I love the zipper pulls. I wish I could afford to get more, but right now I just can't. Yeah, do I have, I know I've got masking tape here somewhere. But anyways, she's catches my videos and she watches them, and I so appreciate that she is very conscientious about making sure, you know, she watches it and stuff like that. She there we go. But so making sure I got the right, okay. I just wanted to make sure I had it in the right direction, especially since I almost messed up the buckle strap after, even in the tutorial. What was it? No, it wasn't the buckle strap. It was the zipper placket. Even in the tutorial, I went into detail about don't do what I just did. But anyway, so yeah, if you haven't, and then, anyways, the tutorial that she had, the tutorial on this bag that she asked me to do, has really helped my viewership, I guess you could call it, my viewing hours times. It's really helped me out. It's been, a great asset to my channel. Let's see. Yes, I had to think about what the seam allowance was again. But anyways, also I was saying, it's such a cute sized bag. And I'm going to, oh, I forgot to do something. I was going to show you how to make this a crossbody. Now, I'm out of, I couldn't find a strap to, my panel is slipping. It's not on level. I have to fix that, guys. I don't like that at all. Anyways, I was going to show you how to do this as a crossbody. I even got little crossbody straps made. So give me a quick second to fix this because I don't like how this slipped like that. Let's see. Yeah, it's like I'm not paying a bit of attention to what I'm doing, am I? All right. So let me grab them. I made these little straps. Now, since this is not a heavy bag, it's not a bag that you're going to put like books and stuff. I mean, you probably could put a book in it, but I made these little strap connectors. They are, let me look at my note. I cut 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. If you want to do a crossbody strap, these, yeah, 1.5 by 3.5. And then I did put some interfacing in it, and it's Decaville, and it's 0.75, so it's 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches for the Decaville. And of course, the Decaville is mainly there to support this, but support your D-ring and your weight. And it's not in at the very end because of course it's the bulk. And so I got these all stitched together. I wanted to show you where I thought, because I did it, I think I talked about it when I did the tutorial, that you could probably make this into a crossbody, but I had to think about it. Well, I thought about it. And I'm going to do it in a way that I've seen done on other bags. I will have to unstitch a tad a bit on this one, but I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to take that off for now. Where your zipper placket ends, you're going to put one of your D-ring straps, okay? You're going to put it, you're going to line it up by your zipper placket, and I'm going to hang it over just a little bit, maybe about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to put a clip just to hold it in place for right now. And that's how I'm going to do this, do one of your strap connectors, okay? So that's one of the strap connectors. I'm lining it up at the end of my zipper placket. So it's not, let's see, it moved. It moved. Let me shift it over just a tad bit. There we go. So that's what we're doing. We're lining it up with that on one side. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it back together, and then I'll show you on the other side because I have to undo just a tad bit to attach the other side. So this is, like I say, this is my solution to a to make a crossbody out of this if you want it. A lot of people like the bag, but they also like the option for a crossbody, and I think it's a cute bag to do that. So let's get this sewn on here. I got to get this back up. There we go. I'm just going to hold it. Yeah, got to tape that zipper pull back down. That beautiful big old zipper pull is in my way. I should just it would be so much easier if I just separated my zipper again, wouldn't it? All right, so now I'm to the connector, and I'm just going to be careful. Just know that when you do the connector, it is going to be some bulk, but because I just fold them to the center. Oh, well, hold on, it's slipping. I needed to put a piece of vinyl behind that so it wouldn't so it would pick up that bulk. All right, so let's go back here, and I'm going to get me a piece. I don't know, do I have a piece of vinyl handy here? Oh yeah, I do. I have a piece of vinyl here. Forgot I put another piece over here, so I'm going to put a piece of vinyl behind it to get up over that hump. There we go. And I'm just going to backstitch just to that little extra security. All right. All right. Get this put back up, out of the way, and the snips. I'm getting too much stuff in my way. All right. I'm going to separate my zipper pull when I do this other side. It's just too much. Too much. Okay. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, so let's take this off. Okay. So that's what I did. There's the strap connector, and it kind of is hidden a little bit. So it's going to be down in your bag like that. And it's going to be on the one side, and then when I do this side, I'm going to do it opposite side. So your strap will go from one side to the opposite side of your bag so it supports it. I'll show you here in just a second, because once we put it together, you'll see. Let me go ahead and top stitch this. Get this top stitched. I almost forgot all about that. That was really, I mean, I had everything ready except the strap. I just couldn't find a strap that I liked, that I have, to make a crossbody for this bag. So I have to go searching for some webbing to match this bag. I don't know if I should make it. I think I'm going to find something. I have a black webbing, 1.5" black webbing. I just don't know if it matches the bag. It's like black, and then I bought it from Kasaya, I believe. It's black, and then it's got like the little V thing like in it, but the V's cream colored. So I kind of am wanting to stay away from that. So there is your connector. Now you can make this a little shorter so this isn't so floppy, or tuck it down more into the bag. I would probably tuck it down more in the bag, but see, you got it on one side like that. There's the tail, and this is my front of the bag. So now let's get it on this side. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to put it on the opposite. So this is, I'm going to fold this down to show you. So this on the front of the bag is on the one side, but when you put it on the back of the bag, you're going to put it on the opposite end. Like that. So I'm going to, yes, I'm going to unstitch that end here. Unfortunately, I know how I can fix this, like just by unstitching the bare necessities, because, well, I've done stuff, not this like this specifically, but yeah, I don't know. Here comes bad girl Joy. Here comes bad girl Joy. She's like, I'm on a mission. Well, George, she just got yelled at.
She's trying to eat pot roast out of a garbage can.
Uh-oh. Somebody's got to eat it so it don't go to waste. She said if you wouldn't feed me that gross, healthy dog food. The Scoofy dog, she gives her decent water. It's the water you buy in the jugs, purified water. And she drinks it, but when she's outside in the back, we just give her the water out of the nozzle out behind the back of the house. All right, so I unstitched just enough to put my zipper, to put my little strap connector in. So I'm going to stick my strap connector in. Again, I'm lining it up with the end of my zipper placket. I'm going to tuck it down in there. Look in the back to see how much is sticking out. There we go. That's enough to stick out. And then I'm just going to re-stitch it back on. Re-stitch it back on. This is not ideal, but this will still work. I'm going to stitch it there, but I'm going to there. So it's on the opposite side. So let's put this back together, because we're going to need to put it back together because we're getting ready to sew it together. So let's go ahead and get this zipper pull back on. Oops. Oh, Delphina says hi, Cass. Need to go the other tooth, that one. Oops, oops. Man. Let's get out the handy dandy tool. Oh, there we go. Boom. Yes, I got me one. That thing is awesome. Well, I didn't get it. I told my son the next time he's at Harbor Freight to pick me up one, and I had one 2 days later. That's a good son. Better than my daughter.
Yeah. Maybe was your favorite.
All right. Make sure this is on right this time. Okay, much better. Sorry, it didn't line up right. Okay, so the strap connectors on this side, one side, and then if you look, you can see it's sewn onto the opposite end on the other side. That's how we got it. All right, let's put it together. Let's get back to that front and get them correct connectors on and figure out how to get the buckles on. Because yeah, you do the little buckle. So we're going to put this together. Remember, we still got to put the base on. I always almost forget that this is not a boxed corner bag. It is got that oval shape. Also, to note, when you cut out your exterior base, make sure you only on the base exterior piece, only cut just for the exterior, because the lining, the lining base is a different size. It's a little smaller than the exterior base. Sides together first, and then you're going to put your base after you get your sides sewn together. All right. And this is one of the linings where you start at a you start at the regular seam allowance, and then you go a little bigger, and then it fits really, really nice. It's a nice fitting lining. I need to make my seam allowance a little more. There we go. Or seam stitch length. And I always increase right past the, it's a drop in, I always increase right past that, or go about an inch down before, and then I cross over, or make it bigger, I should say. Okay, there's one side. All right. Start on seam allowance. And then increase out the seam allowance for about 1/4 of an inch, about an inch down. All right. Now I need more to put that base on. All right. I'm not going to trim down my sides yet until I get my base on. So this is what you've got right now. Your bottom is completely open. Don't just sew in the sides. You've got your everything done at the top there. That's pretty. I hope Annette thinks about getting this color in now. I think she said it was a reject color. It's not a reject to me. So there is the base piece here. Boom. Again, it's a little smaller than the exterior. All right. I'm going to mark. Oh, I forgot to mark my centers. So let's get our centers marked. And I do mark the center, a point of the rounded edge, and I just fold it like this. I just match these centers like that, and I just kind of bring it out to get my centers of my rounded edge there. Okay, there we go. And then you're just going to put your base in. Now, we're going to do, first we're going to do all 4 corners. I always start, I usually start like this. I put a couple clips in like that. I'll go to the opposite side like that. And then I will go to the ends, and then I'll open up my seam, and then I'll match that little peak there. I'll match that and clip that. Now you may want to, though, do a little bit of you can do the little triangle snip on that, because the way it's rounded, it will like stick up. So you can always do a little snip there if you worry about that messing you up when you try to sew your seams together, because it'll stick out past. So I'm going to just put a couple clips here just to hold that, and then the exact same thing on the opposite side. Open it up, grab that, and then give it a couple clips, and then I just ease in the rest, and I just ease it in. I kind of just grab a hold of it, and then just hold it with my left hand at the like rounded, and then just ease it in. It'll look like you're going to get some puckers, but with the seam allowance, you don't end up seeing the puckers. And well, with this busy print, you probably won't see a seam. You won't see one, but it just fits in. You just got to kind of hold it in. Like I said, I just hold it in like that, and then just work it in, and then let the lining relax inside that. That's how I work with these curves. You know what's funny though? When I do this, I think when I was quilting, did quilts and piecing, I would not do a rounded edge when I pieced a quilt. Don't ask me why. I wanted to make a Drunkard's Path quilt because I really like the looks of it, but I stayed away from the curves. I did buy a ruler. It was one that Donna from Jordan Fabrics, she recommended, and I bought one, and I did make a couple blocks with it, and then I dropped this stinking ruler and broke it. So that was the end of my rounded edges on quilts, but I can do these. I probably could do it on a quilt now. But so there's see, that's how it works. Like I say, it looks like there might be a little bit, but when you start sewing it around, you don't see that, and it relaxes into the bag because of the seam allowance. So this, it gets sewn at the increased seam allowance, the one that you increase it to on the lining as you go in. So this is what this gets sewn on at. I will sew it like this because it's easier to lay your piece down and go around it with the base flat to the table. Obviously, it's easier with the lining because it's not as stiff as the bag. So this is actually not that difficult to sew because the lining is a little easier to work with. Do I have something under my... Oh, okay, sorry. There we go. I don't know what is... I think there's something under my pedal. There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, so let me get my seam allowance. Somehow I need to get my seam allowance a little bigger. There we go. I think I'm sitting too close. There we go. Sorry about that. my foot, I was sitting so close, when I was pushing my foot down, it was, I don't know. I don't understand sometimes. I don't understand me. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Yes. Double, and that's another one that I always wanted to make, but you know how I've got, so I have, always wanted to make one. I think they're just gorgeous quilts. And I, had this brainy idea to make, a double wedding ring quilt for my 40th anniversary. My 40th anniversary was last year. And that was 3 years before my anniversary when I had this idea. So I bought paper piecing. I did it by paper piecing because I love paper piecing too. So anyways, so I got this all together. I found what I wanted, the perfect size, and I bought all of the pieces through paper piecings out there in Paducah, Kentucky. And and I said, and I even put it on Facebook back then, on my Facebook page. I'm like, I'm going to make me a wedding. It's going to be 40 rings for my 40th anniversary. And it was with Brenda Riddle fabrics. Loved her fabrics. Love her fabrics. The fabrics that she designs. So it was Brenda Riddle, because I made my quilt that I don't put on my bed anymore because it just ended up getting wrinkled. But anyways, so I made it with the Brenda Riddle design fabrics that were similar to my bed quilt. Anyway, I'm still working on it. I said, hopefully in 3 years I can get this done. Well, it's still not done, and I've had my 41st anniversary. And I'm not adding to it. No, that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I'll never get the 40 rings done. I've got like, maybe one of these days I'll dig it out, show you what I've got. I mean, I've got a little bucket that I do still sew on it here and there. But, yeah. Just when you're doing this, obviously, the way I'm doing this, just go slow. And if it slips a little, well, that one slipped a little more than a little, but it's okay. It's not like tragic. Where's my tweezers? I need to grab hold of this. There we go. There we go. But yeah, I love the wedding ring quilts. All right, my thread's getting tight. There we go. But yeah, I'm working on one, but I'm doing it by paper piecing because I didn't want to do the curves. How goofy is that? All right, so there's the base. So the lining is done. I'm going to trim this down. Find my scissors. So we're going to trim this down, and then we're going to add double-sided tape to the top for the drop-in. 8:36. Not as late as I thought. Probably end up going till 9:30, I think. I'm kind of not being very narrow here. We got to get this a little more. That's going to end up bunching up at the bottom of my bag, and I don't like that at all. The dog needs to get laryngitis. Whew, this is wearing me out. And I think with this lighter, What? Leaving her outside for 5 minutes? She's fine. All right. So there we go. Now we trim down this side. And I always trim down by where the upper contrast meets the lining to get that bulk out. This is wearing my hands out. There we go. So there we go. It's all trimmed down. It's all ready. Now I'm going to find my 1/4 inch and go ahead and get my tape on real quick. Open your seams. And this, I think it's like I say, it's a faux suede is what it is. This faux suede is very soft, so I don't expect my seams on the side to be real thick. The only thing is, and I'll show you when I do, I haven't sewed the base onto the other side yet. And that's, but anyway, I was going to say something. It's really soft, but the only thing that worries me, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to get the base out. I'm going to set this aside. I can do it, but it won't lay because the way I quilted it, I did not put my foam out of my seam allowances. I'm just weird. I just, the foam is right up against the seam. I mean, my machine can sew through it. It's just that when I fold it down, it'll just be a little thicker. But it won't like show or anything. It's just, it'll just have that thickness. All right, so I'm going to grab this other panel. I'm going to show you how, there's my base. Let me show you how this other panel is sewn together. So the top piece, it's got a curve to the bottom. It's got a curve at the top and a curve at the bottom. Your bottom piece here is got a curve as well, like that. This is the top part with the curve, the smile. I call it the smiley face, but the curved part, if you can see, I think you can see it, is the top. Now, the way the bag pattern is designed, you do not add your interfacing until you sew these two pieces together. But because I quilted the top, I just, and I didn't want to add any more interfacing because I felt this would be nice enough. Sorry, I missed a comment. Oh, wow. Yeah, I love paper piecing. The problem, like I said, but now my problem is holding a needle. It's really hard for me because I use this very fine, tiny little needles. You know, I got pillow shams too. When I made the quilt for my bed, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm catching up on comments. And that's another thing is getting a quilt, quilted, because I don't do quilting. I have to send mine out, and it's not cheap to do. All right, so this is the top, this is the bottom of the bag. The more narrow is the top, and you've got the it goes out just like the up the contrast panel. So you make sure your centers are marked, which my center's already marked on this one. My center's marked on this. So I'm going to put my pieces together, and they will look like they're not going to match right because of the angles of it. You just cut, and just like the lining or the base, you kind of got to work those curves in. I love paper piecing. It's just, and then I mark the center, I clip it to the centers, then I go to the edge, and then I will clip on the edge and then work it in. Don't pay attention to my my Decaville touching my seam allowances. I'm just gonna, I mean, I know that. You probably looked at that and thought you did that wrong. I didn't. I know I did it wrong. I did this at lunchtime today, trying to get that interfaced and stuff and get my quilting done. And I did not have a, because the bag is interfaced after you sew these together, I didn't have an extra piece to cut down to have it out of my seam allowances. And I was trying to rush. So I'm like, I'll just cut it to piece, fuse it on, and just let it go that way. So I don't recommend that. Oh, another clip broke. I've had 5 clips break today. I've got those little metal ones. I don't know why I don't pull them out and use them. All right, so we're going to sew this on at the seam allowance, and I'm going to sew with the top part up because the curve, and I'm just going to work with that'll just work with the curve. But yeah, I didn't. That is not advisable. What I did with my Decaville at the bottom. But again, remember, if you don't put it like this, you put the interfacing on after. You sew it together, and there's a full pattern piece for that, so you can keep it out of your seam allowances. I was just being lazy today. Ugh. I really got a sinus headache, and I think I'm getting a sinus infection or a cold or something. I need to get it. If I'm going to get one, I need to get it over with before Christmas, right? Too many people had Thanksgiving with. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I'm hooked on. There we go. I was hooked onto my phone. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people. I'll tell you in a second. So when you do that, when you open it up, you're going to put your seam allowance down towards the base. It's not going to be an open seam allowance. It's going to go down towards the base, and then you're going to top stitch on the base. So let me get my seam allowance increased. But yeah, my family, I was talking last week, my husband's family, technically. I mean, I've been married 41 years, so honestly, they're my family. Their sisters are like my sisters. My sister-in-laws are like my sisters. But anyway, so you just kind of work with it. Work with the curve. I'm not talking because I'm concentrating real quick. Especially since I got a lot of bulkage there. But anyway, so my husband's family, I was talking last week about, there's a lot of kids, and we all try to get together. We all, by the evening, all of them showed up. They were all there by the evening, and isn't that so cute? How many little ones? There were so many of them, and they were just like running back and forth, back and forth. I mean, I was in the kitchen, but they were running through the living room, back to the main room, back to their, it was just, it was chaos, but the kids were having an absolute blast because my nieces and nephews, their kids are all very close, very close. They are Delphine. They're Amazon clips. I mean, I know they're very cheap clips. All right, let me get my ruler out. So with your handles, she gives you a measurement. She has you go in and mark the center, and then she has you go so far from that center to fold your sides in. What I do is I go ahead and mark that thing. So what it is, she has you go to the center and then fold your long edges an eighth of an inch away from the center line. What I do is I go ahead and just mark that line instead of going and marking my center and then folding an eighth of an inch from it. I just go ahead and mark the line. because it's easier for me to see that line than try to fold up my edges and stay an eighth of an inch away from it, honestly. And that's how I do this. I just go ahead and do it. And then you'll have like a small gap in between. And that will be, it'll just be a gap because you don't want, it's to keep from being extra bulk when you start folding your handle over. But yeah, they're all very close. They play really well together. I mean, of course, kids are kids, and there's going to be, you know, one's going to have a toy that the other one wants. That's just life. All right, I'm going to get my tape and fold these edges in. I'm going to use 1/4 inch, but it's mostly girls. I mean, it's a lot of girls. We are now getting boys, an influx of boys in the family. We had Ella's the first great-grandchild of my father-in-law. She's 17. And there's been all girls born for the last 17 years until last year when we had the first 2 boys. And we got 2 more boys coming next year. And it's the same 2 that already has the boys. So the ones that has the boys are having more boys. And the ones that's got the girls, except for one, has... No, we had 3 boys born last year. 3 boys and 1 girl last year. But yeah, for 17, almost 17 years, so we're gonna put our double-sided tape, and then so I'm gonna take this long edge and fold it up to that line there. This one I'm gonna fold up to that line, and there's gonna be a little gap there. But yeah, it's all girls being born. Now, it's, of course, obviously, it's not like girls were born all the time. It was just in the last 5 years we had a bunch born at one time. For years, and then the last 5 years a ton of them were born. But that's because the nieces and nephews my nieces and nephews all got married in the last, not all of them, but most of them got married in the last 5 years and started their families. So, and they like to have kids. I just like, but it is fun to watch all these kids play together. My family doesn't have as many, and they still, and the ones they have that I do have, they all play well, but they're all pretty much cousins anyways, because there's only 2, because my husband's one of 6, and I'm only one of technically 4. I have an older brother, my half brother, but he's really my, you know, I consider him my brother, but he's older, obviously. He's much older than me. But anyways, yeah, I just have the 2 sisters that have the grandkids. So we're going to put a piece of double-sided tape. Next up. You're going to make a mark from the short edge on each side, and on the wrong side. So you're going to take and make a mark on the wrong edge. And that's where you're going to put your double-sided tape at, because your webbing is going to be set inside. It's not going to go all the way to the end of your strap. So you're going to make a mark like that, and then you're going to put your double-sided tape from that line in the center. This is a unique way of doing a rolled handle. The first one I did, I used piping. It was okay. Second one, I did webbing, and I kind of like the way the webbing is made. So you're going to, way it's made with the webbing. So you're going to do that. The only thing is, of course, is you want to make sure the webbing works with your color. The black one that I did, I have found like a really deep navy that would work with the thing. And then this is like a dusty rose. This is actually a cotton webbing. It's called Dusty Rose. And I got it to go with this. So it's not that noticeable, but you still want to make sure that it matches. So you're going to set your webbing inside, center it, so you've got about an eighth, or a little, about approximately an eighth of an inch exposed on the edge. I'll show you here in just a second. You've got your webbing, and see how it's centered like that. So, and then this is going to close up, and then you're going to take it like this. You're going to fold it up, match your folded edges together. This is where all my clippies started breaking today, because it's so big, the clips. But the little tiny ones, the metal ones, are not big. Does not open wide enough to clip this. Besides, I don't know that I would put those little metal clips on this fabric, because it's I'm afraid it would like poke it or something, tear it. Thank you so much. I'm going to say it. I know I probably say it too much, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me. I appreciate it. After this, we just got to put the buckles on. Now, that does take a minute. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to try to not, like in the tutorial, I started to do it completely wrong. I cut it out. It's like a big, it's like it stops and then it jumps back to me doing it. Yeah, and it's like I had to think about it again when I did it. So that's why I wanted to do this. Okay, so this is all clipped together. Then what you're going to do is you're going to make a mark, and you can just make just a tiny little dash or something, like on the what I do is I put it like right up here. I put it like on the edge here, just a tiny little dash, that just a bit enough where you can see it, but it's not going to be real noticeable. At the measurement that she gives you. So again, I'm just putting a nice, just a tiny little mark right up here at the top. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm going to do that on each end, and this is going to be your start and stop. I can move my clip out of the way. This is going to be your start and stop point on your sewing. Like that. It's just a tiny little mark, because this is going to be open, and this is the part that's going to be sewn to your bag. But it's not going to be raw. It's going to be closed. It's going to be closed like that. You won't see a raw edge on the end. You're going to fold it up. So it's really, really neat way of doing this. So we're going to, where that little dash mark is, I'm going to start my stitching there. If you have a skinny foot, I would advise you use it. I don't like my skinny foot. I don't like the way it sews. So I've gotten used to using my regular foot on this. So I've just gotten used to it. So we're going to stitch this now. You can pull the threads through, like I showed you in the tutorial, but my thread like really blends in with this, so I can backstitch and you really don't even know, as long as I don't like backstitch 50 times. So let's get this sewn. Just go slow to make sure your sewing your folded edges stay even, and like one doesn't get slipped and it starts to be bigger than the other. My stitching, I'm going in too far, so I need to get that. There we go. Just gotta watch that, make sure it doesn't. Now there's a lot of bulk here, I'm not gonna lie, so you really need to think about on your machine what you have and what it can handle. I gotta stop at my little point here. I can't forget. I almost forgot on my last one. There we go. What your machine can handle. So if you're worried about bulk here, you may want to do it like piping, and do a narrower piping. Maybe one stitch. There we go. I had to get one stitch out of the way. I went one stitch too far when I did my little back stitch. There we go. So be careful with that. Okay. Make sure my threads don't show. All right. All right. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, so once you get it sewn together, that's what it looks like. You've got that open in there like that. You've got your webbing, and then you've got the that end there. That's like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do some triangle cuts on the end, so when it folds up, you don't see those corners. You know how sometimes you do the fold ups. So I'm just going to go in and just make some triangle cuts like that. I'll show you kind of this way how kind of match it up like that's kind of just use that as a point where it's folded in and just go at an angle. I mean, she doesn't give you any measurements. You just kind of got to figure it out, which you can pretty much figure it out. This one needs to go just to match it up a little bit more. There we go. So there we go. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put a piece of double-sided tape on the end like that. And I just put it just past the webbing like that, because you're going to take this and fold it up over the webbing like this. So it's going to go folded over the webbing where it kind of I guess cradles the webbing like that. And then you're going to go ahead and put another piece of double-sided tape on there. Don't take the backing off yet, because this is how you hold it onto your bag when you sew this onto the bag. So that's what it's going to look like. Now when I sew it on, see how the corners don't show? Sometimes when I lay it flat and sew it, I just take my flathead and I just tuck that little corner in just so it hides better. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Get my tape. Cleaned out my little garbage box before I started, so I would make a huge mess on the floor, because I keep making messes on the huge messes on the floor. And I'm not doing too bad. I'm actually hitting it this time. So I'm folding it up over the webbing like that. And then I'm going to put get another side tape there. Whoa. Well, that's going to stay there for a minute. So that's all set there. Now I'm going to grab my bag back. I'm going to get my exterior main piece top where it's got slits on it. This is where you're going to put your handle, and this is where your buckle strap's going to go. So you've got that on the front of your piece. I'm going to lay it flat on my piece, and I'm just going to center it up from the top, because you've already you've already got your seam allowance. I'm just lining it from the top. Now you can do this prior to sewing it together and have all this already marked out, but because I did the quilting and everything, I didn't mark it out. But as long as you line it up at the top, and I center it up, the center this with the top, you can get your accurate marks. You just obviously don't have it at the bottom because of the seam allowance. That's why I lined it up at the top. All right, I'm going to make marks. I'm just using this tailor's chalk. My little chalk pencil is not working, and the wheel is cutting into my fabric. I was trying to, and my silver pen doesn't work with the faux reel, or the faux suede. I can't even think of what this is called. It's faux suede. So I'm using this because this can be wiped off, and it's just very faint. Just, you can see it just a little tiny bit. All right, so I am going to take off this tape off one side. I do one side at a time. I do not try to tape them both down and have one just taped and while I'm sewing on the other. That is difficult because that one just constantly comes apart. Sorry, I needed a sip there. Get all this out of the way. And then I'm going to put this on, line it up with my line, press it down, and then I'm going to start sewing this on. You will have a rivet in the center. So you do have that rivet that will help hold it down. My original ones I did too, but this one I didn't need to because of the way I sewed it on a little better. You can pull your threads through. Obviously that's suggested when you have when you're worried you don't want your thread to show, but I mean, I'll repeat. I'll go ahead and repeat it. You know, my thread blends real well, so I'm not worrying about it. So just sew it on, just go around. She does give you the measurement of the box that you make. So you can draw the box on or work with it. So I'll just sew and get my little ruler out, and I just kind of measure it out is how far up to go. Kind of how I do it. But you can draw the box if you're worried that you're not going to be able to measure it, get it right out. But all right, just kind of go around and get her on. Make sure I stay lined up with my all right. All right. So there's the one. And I'm going to do the exact. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Again, at the beginning, I don't know where I'm at on my subscribers right now. Let's see. Let's see where we're at. I am very close to 1,000. So if you're not a subscriber, I'm at 978. So I haven't gained any subscribers yet through the live tonight, which that's okay. I usually pick up subscribers on my lives. I'm not gonna lie. I do get subscribers, but it's okay. I mean, if you're not, I would appreciate it. I am very close to getting 1,000 subscribers, which is very, very exciting. So if you aren't, I would appreciate it. And I'm getting overwhelmed with my garbage on my table right now is what's the problem. There we go. And then, of course, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would help me out as well. It'll help this video to get out to others. I think, let me check real fast. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure these look even. I don't want one box to be way smaller than the other. That would just look silly. I need to tuck my corner in a little bit. There we go. Go down. Okay. Then once I get these sewn on, I'm going to run over to my little rivet press and put my rivets in. Shouldn't take me but a second. There we go. So there's the handles. 23. I feel like I keep losing subscribers instead of gaining. Didn't I need 22 when I started my live? I usually gain subscribers on my live. I'm losing them. I must be that boring, right? All right, I'm going to go throw some rivets in here real fast. Yeah, I am. Oh, I need to move anyways. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm just going to get my rivets on. I know you might be able to see me back here. It's just, you're just centering them. Honestly, you just put a one in right in the center. You could put, if you're worried about the pull on the handles, you could always put two side by side. You just have to make sure, of course, they're not too close. Here we go. That they are not too close, nor are they too close to the stitching. So that's just some things to consider if you want to put two in. Or you can make your box a little smaller and then put two in, up one here at the top and one there. But I think this is sufficient. I'm glad I have black pants on. Normally I am like, normally I have something on, pants on, that totally does not match my shirt. There we go. I feel like it smashed down. So I'm glad I didn't embarrass myself by what I had on. My rug is picked up behind my bench. There we go. So get back in here. You are pouring. Well, thank you. Thanks a lot, Delphina. I'm glad. Okay, let's move on to the buckles. So we are attaching buckle straps. So depending on what you want to be the front or the back of your bag, I kind of want, where's my other piece at? That's my lining. There it is. I kind of want this to be my front. I wish I had some handmade. Let me see if I've got a gold handmade real fast. I know I'm out a lot of them, so I know I don't have any silver. Nope, I don't have any gold. Okay, if I had a gold handmade, I would love to put that in the front of the bag, but I don't. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go with my tag to be the front of the bag because that's what I want. So I'm going to take the front of the bag and put it back down. We're going to start with the back of the bag on the strap connectors. So I'm going to grab the two long pieces here. Let me see. Let me put this back here so they don't get lost. So we're going to grab these. I'm going to put a little piece of double-sided tape. I need that 3/4. I need that 1/2 inch double-sided tape. Bear with me just a quick second. While I know my magnetic thing's not going to trap it, but it'll at least drag it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put a little piece of double-sided tape. I'm going to make sure it is above that stitching where we start and stopped our stitching. Make sure it's above that stitching because this is where we're going to start to stitch, where our needle's going to go down. So keep it at above the stitching, and of course keep it out of your stitching space. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it down, and then we're going to start stitching, obviously on the other side, but we're going to start stitching here, go up, over, and back down, and stop where we stop stop where this is, where meet that up. If that makes sense. We're going to box this up, completely box it. Whew. I can't talk. So this being the back of my bag and that little line there, I'm going to put it to where the long end of the strap is out to the side of the bag, and I'm going to stick this down on the line that I have, stick it down like that, and then I'm going to, like I was just saying, I'm going to start stitching where it stops, and I'm going to make a rectangle. I'm hoping, let me see if my camera, there we go. All right, I hope you can see. I know it's hard because the way I film, I have to film it in the vertical position with my phone. So I'm starting, dropping my needle down, and then I'm going down to start my rectangle. And I am going to pull my threads through because this is contrasting this black. It will show that little thing. So I'm going to go straight down. My threads are long. I'm going to go slow because I'm going to make sure I meet back in that hole where I did my last stop. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn and then go towards the back. One more stitch. Turn. All right, I think, let me go. Let me pull my thread through real quick. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to sew down and meet up. This is always the hard part, meeting back up. It's always easy to drop your needle down in starting position, but meeting it back up, sometimes you end up going a little, whoop, I keep hitting my phone because it's where it's at. And then we'll pull my threads through long, hold on to them, clip that, and then I'm keep that back thread, don't lose it. You don't want to pull through the wrong thread. You will probably want to cry if you pulled through the wrong thread. All right. Because you'll look like you have a skipped stitch, and then it just, so I'm going to tie off my threads. I'm going to tie it probably too many times because I don't want it to be pulled and yanked on. Does she have, I can't remember. Yeah, there we go. That. One more. And I'll throw a little sliver of tape on it because I'm going to leave my threads a little long, and then I'm going to put some tape down because that's what I like to do. All right. So there's that, where it looks on the back, but this is what it looks like in the front. See how it looks like it's just one fluid stitch. You just got to go slow and do that. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to turn this upside down to do it. Get my sliver of tape. Put it in the back here. Barbie's got a live tomorrow with Lori. So anybody, in case you haven't noticed, I think I'll look at my I can look right now. I'm pretty sure it is because I've got my I've got it tagged to be notified. Well, it disappeared on me. There it is. No, that's not it. That's her her tutorial. I think it's at 2:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Oh, the thing is, Delphina, you just have to, like, you just got to make sure when you pull the first thread through, the starting thread, make sure you pull it through before you meet to the, before you get back to it. Usually when I get halfway around or it gets turned around, that's when I pull that through. And then when you pull the other one through, just hold on to it. It is time consuming. But like I was saying in my tutorial, I am not totally against, obviously, because I did it tonight, totally against not a back stitching. And certain aspects, I don't, because it is time consuming. It's just grabbing those threads. When I first started doing the tying threads off, I'm gonna tell you what, I fought with trying to get the threads to loop on each other to make make a knot. But it's one of those things, you do enough, you kind of figure it out. But yeah, keep the threads long is always the biggest thing that you want to do, and then you pull them through as soon as you get to the end. And I always try to pull my threads through when I do it contrasting. So like, see, I'm close to it, so I'm going to go in here, just give it a little yank, and then just pull that loop. Sometimes you got to fight with it. And yes, it's time consuming, and it makes a video too long. That's why I try not to do it too much when I do videos. This is the frustrating part of it. I didn't pull the loop enough. If I didn't worry about the way it looked, I would not mess with it, honestly. But anyway, yeah, Barbie's got a live tomorrow afternoon. I'm hoping I can watch it. 2:30. I'm in a meeting at 2:30 every day. Actually, my meeting is at 2 o'clock every day. So I'll probably miss the beginning of it. As long as the meeting doesn't go forever, I might be able to catch the end of it. But if I catch the end of it, I won't be able to comment because I'll just have it on as background. That's what I've been doing lately. And every now and again, I'll throw a comment in, only because I just feel the need to comment sometimes. Oh, all right, I'm going to try not to knock my phone off. Yeah. So do I. Sometimes I just like that look of that thread color. Especially, I notice that when I use black vinyl a lot, I tend to use contrasting threads on black vinyl. I don't know why. And what did I just do? I said to hold on to your threads so you don't pull the wrong thread through. And I just let go. Ugh. Figure out which one it is now before I don't mess it up. Yeah. I think it's this one. I'm just yanking it, just the thread on the front, just enough to see which thread. No, it's not that one. It's this one. This is it. Just enough to see what thread shifts. That's how I that's what I just did. And then I'm just going to pull, when I get my loop, I'm just going to loop it just enough to see if the thread starts to come through. And that way I'll know if I pulled the right thread. Yep, I got it. Woo! I just did, like I said, I just yanked the front of it to see which thread looked like it was pulling. And then I just looped it. And then I just did my loop just enough to see if my thread started coming through the back. And that's how I found it. But if you hold your thread, you don't have to do that, right? But anyway. Yeah. I did a moon wake with black Mora faux leather. And I used Kasaya's Purple Rain thread. Oh my gosh. It was gorgeous. I had this cotton fabric. I bought it with clearance. I can't remember what it was called, but it was really kind of cool looking. It was black, but it had purple design in it. And that's why I did purple. And it turned out really nice. It sold, but yeah, it turned out really nice. There we go. So this part's done. Now let's go to the front panel. Now, this is the part that makes people nervous because we're going to cut into our vinyl. Now, silly me, knowing I had to cut into this vinyl, I did not mark this side. And what's going to concern me now is cutting into my quilting stitching. So I'm going to get my glue out and my tape out, and I'm going to tape a little bit because I didn't mark this side to worry about the stitches, because I will have to cut into, I don't want to cut into that. I'm freaking out now. And where's my glue? There it is. But it'll be hidden when I pull the piece. I'm just gluing it. To put some tape back here too where you can't see it, so my stitching doesn't pull apart. But I got to get my X-acto knife, and I got to get my. So I'm just going to cut right below that stitch, but this one will have to get cut, and it needs to be 1.25 inches. Oh, this is breaking my heart. You guys, I didn't even think about this. Why didn't I thought about it, but I didn't think about it. Does that make sense? 924. Okay, here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, that's heartbreaking. 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 I think I'm okay. It's just that one. I'm just going to throw a little dab of glue. It's kind of, like it's like using fray check, I guess. I don't know. So I'm through the back. Ugh. All right. More to come on that. All right, so I got my slit there. Now I'm going to take, it's called Strap Connectors 1, and it is the itty bitty pieces, these little teeny tiny pieces. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to insert it through the slot to where the wrong side is facing up. Yeah, I think so with the glue. This is like some serious glue. It's like glue that really is, it's powerful smelling. I'm not going to lie. So I think it should be fine, and it won't show because of the connectors. And then I'm going to be stitching by it, or actually through it. So that'll help. Wrong side up. You're going to take and put this through, but you're going to have it to where it's you're going to insert it to where she tells you, like it goes so far in, and she does give you the measurement. So you're going to put it in like that, wrong side up, with the, I'm going to call it the tail, the long part facing toward the edge of the bag. So let me turn it over. Let me pull this through at the right measurement that she gives us. A little tiny bit too much. And this little piece, this little part that we're doing here, more or less covers. It'll pull through, and that makes your edge to look kind of finished. It keeps away that, makes it not be raw edge, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. All right. And then you're going to stitch on the tab part at the measurement she gives you. So you're actually stitching on the tab through the bag. See, that'll give me some security on my stitching. I just thought about that. Let's get my strings out a little bit so I can get a hold of them. There we go. So she gives you, let me shrink it back down so I can read. So, okay. And make sure you sew only on the connector. So I would start my needle down, manually put it down, and then stitch. And then back, make sure you back stitch. One more, and then back stitch. Like that. So that's what the back looks like. You've got the stitching there, and then there's the little bit of the tab sticking out. And then there's the front where you stitched. It's hard, I kind of, let me get a little closer. You can see where you stitched it there. And it's being stitched to this side of the bag. So then when you do, after you do that, you're going to take your piece, pull it, put it through the hole. So I'm going to get a hold of that, pull it through. And you're going to pull it to where the stitching is. So like, oops, there we go. I'm pulling the wrong piece. There we go. So you're going to pull it through like that. And then it's you'll make it like a little, you'll make it, I guess you could say like taut, but don't yank it to where it's pulling into where you see the stitching. So you'll have just a little bit, pretty much just about the seam allowance that you stitched, if that makes sense. So you'll have that little bit, and that just kind of gives you like that little finished spot there. And then I'm going to do that to the other side. So I'm going to grab my other one. I'm going to cut my spot there. I'm missing, oh, my line almost faded away. So let's see. We're going to, why does that look not even? My line has disappeared. So give me a second here. It just faded away. And I needed to make sure I know where my stop and start point is. Oh. There's the star. There we go. Ah, got it. We got it now. All right. Make sure. Okay. Okay. I know, again, I know we sewed through it, but I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Just that extra security. Especially if I sell this bag and it starts to pull through, I would feel absolutely horrible if whoever buys this bag and this stitch comes loose. I don't think it will because we're going to stitch through it, but I'm just weird. I'm just weird. Where's my lid? There it is. All right. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. Put this through like I just did. Wrong side up. Put it through the slot to where the, I don't think I made my slot big enough. I didn't. I need to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see. Sorry. Well, I didn't make this one big for some reason. Got it now. Wrong side up again. Remember, wrong side up with the tail going to the outside. I'm going to flip it over and pull it through and then make sure. And then I'm going to stitch on the tab. Alrighty. We're getting there. We're getting there. 9:30. Well, I was thinking we'd be done by 9:30. Let's be done by 10. All right, we're going to pull this guy through, and then we're going to put the other piece on and stitch it up. Pull it through. There we go. All right, now the other piece, I've already got them prepped, and you're just basically marking the centers and folding them to the centers. Again, this is a little longer than her piece is cut. I cut mine an inch longer, and that's just to help me pull it through because it gets very tight in this spot when you start pulling all these layers in there. And I just needed that extra length, and then I just trim it off. So we're going to, and this is the one I always have to think, for some reason, I always have to think about it, but I think I might be all right this time. So you're going to take this piece. Let me see if I can bring it close to the camera where you can see. So you're going to take this piece, put it through, but you're going to point it towards this side of the bag. So I'm going to put it through here. I got to grab hold of this and put it through the hole. There we go. Okay, so you're going to face this. It's going to be right sides together, the wrong side out, kind of like what we did the other one, but we're going in the opposite direction. Again, measure about what she gives you. That should be sticking out. Just be careful to watch which piece. Now, this is sticking out. This is a little longer, so I'm going to pull mine through just a little more than what she says because mine's a little longer. That's right. I'm thinking. Yeah. So I'm just going to go a little more because I've got mine a little longer. Again, just make sure you're looking at the right one. So then you're going to take this and fold it. It's going to be like out like that way. And then you're going to have it again. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stitch on this piece that's facing towards the middle of the bag, just like you did the other side, at the same stitch length or the same seam allowance that she gives you. It's on the other side. I'll show you here in just a second. Get my scissors here. So there's the stitching, there's the connector, and then that, if you see, it's hard to see, but this little piece, that is your piece that we just, our little short piece that we just did. So now you're going to take this and you're going to pull it back through. Let me make sure that's when you pull it back through. Insert the connector through the slit with the longer piece in the middle. Okay, so blah from the slit. Then mark the center. Okay, So then before you pull it back through, you're going to make a mark that she gives you. In the center of the piece. Where's my silver pen? There it is. Okay, she gives you a measurement to mark. Oh, hi, Phoebe. Guys, Phoebe, this is the pattern designer. She popped in. Wow, it's very early there. You woke up very early. Well, thank you so much. No, I'm not done yet. I'm slow. But yeah, so you've got your little mark there. And then you will, I'm sitting here reading, just making sure that I give the right direction. Okay, and I'm going to punch a rivet hole in that spot. Let's see, because that's where the buckle's going to rest, right? Yes. Piece I. Yes. So I'm going to go get my hole punch real quick. Let me go get it real fast. Urgh. Urgh. All my double-sided tape's on the floor. All right. Yes, thank you so much for joining, Phoebe. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still at it. It's been 2.5 hours. So yeah, I appreciate you joining. Let me just get my rivet and press in here, or my rivet press, my hole punch. Oh, things dumping out on me everywhere. I cannot get a hold of this thing. So we're going to punch a hole there. And that's where our buckle, it's not going to be for a rivet. It's going to be where the buckle prong thing goes through. All right. So we got that. Now what we're going to do is grab one of our buckles. If I can find them in my little buckets here. We are getting close to getting done though, right? Where did my buckles go? I think I knocked them. Oh my goodness gracious. My buckles fell out of my bucket. Oh no. Okay, I'm embarrassed. Goodness gracious. Ugh. It's bedtime for me. All right, so I'm going to take the buckle, and then what you're going to do, and this is, I always kind of have to fiddle with it, but you're going to make sure what you do when you put your buckle on, you want to make sure your buckle prong needs to be upside down. Yes, this is upside down. So I'm going to take it and put it on upside down like this. Let's see. Through here. Nope, nope, nope. See? I always have to mess with it. There we go. I think I got it finally. So, you have to mess with it, but what you're looking for is your prong going in the hole with it this way, with it wrong side up. So when you take your piece, you're going to go down like this. Your prong, whoops, I do have it wrong. My goodness gracious, why I'm embarrassed. And Phoebe's here right now. I know. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lindiana. Ah! Okay. Oh, no, I can't get it out. I can't get the prong out of there. Okay. So, let's see. Deep breaths. The buckle pin should point towards the side of the bag. Read the directions, right? So I'm going to feed it through. I mean, how many times have I made this bag? My brain is not working. So this is that. My brain. It's embarrassing, guys. How embarrassing. I've done this multiple times. I've done a full tutorial on it, but yet I cannot get my brain to do this. The buckle pen should point to the side. I'm going to feed this through. Thanks. Drink some water. Yeah. I need to. Oh, I can't do it from here. I just for some reason, let me think here for a quick second. All right. Let me see if this is right here. So we're going to go, what we're doing is we're ultimately folding it this way. So once I figure it out, I will show you what I did. So that goes this way. So I'm going to go fold it up through here. Haha. Take the prong. Put it through the hole. See, this prong keeps moving on me. Pop it through the hole. If I can get my fingers to work and this prong to stop moving. That's why I like fixed prongs. This prong keeps moving around on me. I think I figured it out. I think my brain finally figured it out. If I can get it through the prong. No, I don't think it's going to work this way either. Top of the buckle up. Yeah, Sharon, I don't know why my brain is not doing this. Like I say, I've already done this multiple times, and oh my gosh, I don't know if it's the buckle. That's the way it goes. So this is the top. I'm feeding it through here. Oh my goodness gracious! I just did it. Just figured it out. Okay, thank you, Sharon. So, the buckles face up. The prong feeds through up like it's upside like that. You see how it's the prong is upside down like that. So you feed it through. Then you're going to take this, but you got to make you got to mark something first. But then that's going to fold it down, and then there's your buckle. So then it folds down like that. Okay, so, but first, once we do, before we feed it back through, you're going to make a rivet here on your bag right here. You're going to just pop the, do a rivet right here. So it holds this together. And then when you've got it covered, you won't see it, but you'll have a rivet here to kind of hold all that together. So let me go ahead and make my little rivet spot. Where's my little ruler? Right here. So just in the center, and at the mark she gives you. Boom, right there. There's, let me get my hole punch. So just kind of move everything out of the way. And you're going to punch through. Yeah. So you're going to punch through both of the layer, all of the layers. So you're going to hold all that together. So I'm going to slip it in here, keep all my pieces together. I probably should use, well, that Japanese hole punch aren't going to cut through all these layers. So I'm just going to work through here and get it all together. I got it. I got it. Boom. Did it. All right. Rivet time. Let's get back up. Get my steps in. Put my rivet in. I can get a post here. There we go. All right. Set my rivet. Boom. Now we're going to fold the rest of the buckle through like that. Ugh. And that's what it's going to look like. Let me look at my picture real fast, making sure my buckle's pointing the right direction. Yep, I did it. Yes. Yeah, Carly, we are making the Evana by Hallel. It's a new pattern release. Actually, she just joined us. I don't know if she's still here, the pattern designer. She's 6 hours ahead of us, and she woke up early and seen that I was still sewing her bag. But yeah, and that's the unique feature, the cute feature of the bag is your buckle. So you've got that there like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to feed this back through the slot. This is where it gets a little snug. Oh, I think I was not supposed to rivet until I feeded this back. Oh, you're still here. Yeah, it's the thing is and I put my rivet on too soon, but that's fine. I can work it through it. I can get through it. But yeah, it's I just have to think, and it's late. That's why everybody's saying it's late, and my brain just sometimes, I tell you what, goes backwards. Okay, so you put that back through, and then that's where you've got your piece to go. And like I say, I put my rivet back through, and I'm making this tricky to pull this through because the rivet's in the way, and I know I need to remove my rivet, and I can't do that on a live. So I got to go steal a tool of my husband's to take my rivet off. But it's fine. I can work with that because I'm goofy. All right. So let's do the other side real quick. I have to fix that, which is fine. So let's get this other side on. It's late. We need to get her done, right? Okay. So we're going to put this through like that. Like that. I measure. Measure. Where's it at? There it is. Pull it through. Measure, got that. Get that out of the way for now. Stitch on the, whoops, wrong side. Make sure it is pointing toward the center of your bag. You're going to stitch, oops, I just unthreaded my needle. I mean, for real, Tony? Getting stage fright. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. It's always, all right, so we're going to stitch this on again. Make sure you're sewing only on the tab thing, the strap connector. Boom. And then we're going to put punch our hole. Got to remember what it was, yeah. In the center, only through the strap. Okay. Grab our buckle. Let's do this. Let's see how fast we can do this one, right? Buckle is right side up. I'm going to feed it through, put my buckles, feed it through that side there with it right side up. Feed my prong through the hole. Watch this, guys. And it's bad that I messed up like that right when Phoebe came on, too. It's like embarrassing. Nope, nope, nope. I did it again. I did it again. I got to figure, I keep putting it the wrong side up is what I keep doing. I have to watch that prong because this is not like curved or anything. And I think that's what's messing me up is my buckle is, and I have to look at the prong to make sure of the right direction. There we go. And then we are going to punch our hole. Now, this is what I did wrong. We're going to make our hole for our rivet. But what I did is, where's it at? I got to see where my prong went. I put the rivet in too soon. Yes, I did another mistake. So my rivet's in too soon. I got to cut it off real quick. But I got that there. I'm going to punch a hole through. I'm going to put this through first. That's what I did wrong. Put this through first before I punch the hole. Then I'm going to punch the hole through all of my pieces. So you're going to feed this through, and it goes in. This will come out through in between all of your pieces. So this is where you just kind of work with it. If you can get it in there just enough to grab hold of it. There we go. And it's going to, like I say, it goes through all your pieces. Just pull it through and then get it all the way through. Make sure you're, and I did it. Tony Lorene, I swear. Hello, and I apologize. Navisa, I hope I did not mess your name up. And I'd be done with this bag by now if I didn't, and I'm sitting here trying to, and this was my purpose of my life, to sit there and try to show you and help you out. And then here I am doing it wrong because I'm just silly that way, I guess. Okay. You guys are probably tired of me. Okay. These buckles are driving me crazy. So when it comes through, does my struggles help your struggles? Okay, so let me see something. I think I got it. I think I keep, nope, that's not it. I just did this, and I'm looking at this one, and my brain, okay, I fed it up through. Okay, so this is the top. But the prong should be going this way. So let me feed it the other way. Keep the top up. Turn it around. There it is. And then when I fold it back through, it folds over. You know, I need to check my blood sugar, but my phone, I'm using my phone and it's on my phone. I don't, I'm not feeling low. I can tell you that. Maybe I am, and I'm just not shaking. I'm not shaking right now, so I feel like feel like my blood sugar's fine because I'm not shaking, but I probably do need to eat. So your buckle's up, and you take your prong, but you're going to put it through the side that I guess you could say the top side of your buckle, and that's where your prong goes through. Then you feed it back through, and then your prong's going to look like it's upside down, but it's going to fold towards the side of the bag. And that's what I think is what's confusing me. And maybe it is. Maybe my blood sugar is dropping. And I do have Coke, a little mini fridge down here, but I got to get up and go get my husband's little things from off his desk. I'm going to have to get up, run over, and grab my his little cutters that I use to cut my rivets off. So I'm going to have to thank you, Phoebe. So feeding it back through like that, and pull it to where you got your little, see how your prong's folding over like that. All right, so we've got that nice and rested. Oh, my little piece pulled through too much though. There we go. I don't want that to pull so tight where you can't, where the stitching is. There we go. All right, so where I got my little rivet hole, I'm going to punch through all the layers, including the piece that I just pulled through. That's what I did wrong here. I put the rivet on before that little piece. So I'm going to punch the rivet hole through all of the pieces. I get this piece pulled so it's nice and tight. Get all my pieces in. I think I might have to go a little go in at an angle. Get my buckle out of the way. There we go. Like that. So all your pieces have got holes in them. And then I'm going to put a rivet in there, and that'll hold all of the pieces down. Give me a quick second. Let me go grab his thing off of his desk real fast. So you talk amongst yourself while I grab that. Sorry about this, guys. Hopefully they're sitting out where I can find them easily. Let's see. Now, this is how I cut my rivets off when I rivet something that I shouldn't be riveting or something's not right. He's got these little snippy guys, little snippy things that he uses on his, because he does like model kits. He's really, really good at it. And I just get a hold of it and I just cut it. And sometimes it does mess with my vinyl a little bit, but I try really hard not to mess with the vinyl or poke myself. Obviously I've done this before. I've had this happen before. I just got to get it around the rivet. So this is soft vinyl. This black is really soft. So I just got to be careful not to cut the vinyl too much. There we go. If I can just... Usually it cuts it right off. But, of course, because I'm doing a live and I messed up. Yeah. That's what I need to do, right? But it's fine. I get it. I just got to get it right around this stem. Just making sure when it pops, it don't hit me in the eye. I don't want to do it from the front. go. Got it. I just can't get a hold of it. Usually this works out. There we go. Got it. Usually it works out better than that, quicker than that. I gotta make sure I put those back over there. So, let's get this rivet out. I need to put this through and then punch through this one so I got the rivet, and then I'll set my rivets. And then guess what? Woohoo! Guess what? Let's get this bag together. It's 10 o'clock. I'm getting this bag done tonight. You all can stick with me if you want. Huh? You are more than welcome. If you give up on me and leave, you are more than welcome to give up on me. You will not hurt my feelings. All right, so let me pull this through and get this piece pulled through and punch the hole through this piece that should have been punched through before. I'm just going to go through the same hole, obviously. There we go. All right. And then, let's see. I did mess this little piece up just a little bit, but it'll be fine. All right. Let me do some riveting again. Let's do it all over again. Okay. All the pieces. Ah, a little thick. There we go. Got it. Buckle. There we go. All right. Whew, we got it. We got it. We got it. Oh. We got it. So, there they are. I'm going to, the ones that I made a little longer, I'm just going to even that out. And then I do cover these up with tape only to help lay them flat a little bit. I just throw some tape over it. There's got some duct tape. I think it makes it, makes it, I don't know, lay flatter. Ooh, that's not, I didn't do a very good job with that piece. Oh, hi, Jacqueline. Oh, I messed up. Yeah, it's, you missed comedy hour. All right. So that's the way it's going to go. Your buckle's going to go that way. And then the back, once you get the back will feed through here, and then that'll be your little strap on your buckle. All right. Guess what? Let me get my, it took so long, my tablet went to sleep on me. All right. Now we are going to grab our panels. And we're going to attach, we're going to sew just like we did the lining. We're going to take these little guys and push them in. We are going to match these pieces first. And then we're going to stitch just the sides first. And then we're going to attach the bottom just like we did the lining. There we go. Match up the tops and match up the bottoms. This corner's going to curl a little bit. That's because of the quilting. So I just kind of got to work that. And then we're going to sew it at the seam allowance. Let me decrease my stitch length real quick. All right, so we're going to get this sewn on at the seam allowance that she gives. Just make sure your strap connector is out of the way. There we go. Now we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Just watching, just trying to check comments. Yeah, if you're not a subscriber to my channel and you've just joined me, please subscribe. I am getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So I would appreciate if you could subscribe to me. I'm not always this goofy. If you caught me when I was putting that buckle on, putting the rivet on before I should have. I'm not always that goofy. I knew to go what tool to go get and cut it off, because the first time I did it, my husband figured it out how to do it, and now I just go steal his tools. Didn't do it. As long as I return them, he'll never know, because surely he doesn't watch me. I was making the comment, I'm like, I lost a subscriber. I'm like, somebody must have not liked me or not liked something because I lost a subscriber. And he goes, it was me. Trying to be funny. He's the one that plays my videos in the living room when he's not in there. He'll play them to help with my watch hours. So I know it wasn't him. So I'm just covering up my stitches. Okay. So now we're going to get our base. Now my base is already ready to go. I already got my purse feet on. Yay. And the base, typically you use something like a Decaville Heavy, but I've got 3mm foam stuff that I bought off Amazon for something else, and it was just too thick, and I found that it works well with bases. I think it's a great base for a bag. It's nice and sturdy, it's thick, and it's foam. It's nice and soft. These, since they're rivets, I don't necessarily need to cover them, but I don't like the metal touching. If I got bigger scissors, I could cut this tape faster. I just don't like the metal rubbing against my fabric. So I'm just going to real quick throw some tape on. My light on my machine, it's broke at the base and it keeps toppling over. Just make sure when you do this that your tape doesn't get into your seam allowance, because that can be ugly trying to sew through really sticky tape. That's worse than double-sided tape, honestly. Like I say, I don't know, since these are rivet feet and it's soft, I don't know that this is really necessary. But I just don't know if the friction of the metal to your lining does anything. So there we go. There we go. So marking my centers. Well, it's kind of, the center's already kind of sorted there because of my purse foot. But we're just getting our centers marked real quick. Let's get a pair of scissors, not snips. So we're going to get our centers marked. Probably should have marked them before I get all this stuff on here. I want to make it a little bit easier, right? There we go. There we go. Got it. All right, we're going to attach this on just like we did the lining. Line it up, center points. Just go around getting your centers all marked up, and then ease in the rest. So Sharon, you're going to have to let me know how that bag, the designer, the thing you won with Monica, how that goes. Because 2025 is going to be the year I put something out. I'm going to tell you. I've got something in my head. It's not something, it's not like a purse bag. I'm not going to give it away yet in case I don't. In case I don't get it out on paper and I end up coming up with something else first. But I really think next year I'm going to have a pattern out. I've got too many, I got a couple in my head. Let's just say I got a couple things. One's, like I say, one's not necessarily a purse type of bag. It's something else. And again, when you're putting this on, just let the base go inside. It makes it so much easier to clip this rounded edge if you let it just relax inside the piece that you're working with, whether it be the lining or the exterior. Makes it so much easier. But I just wish I could have done the whole thing. Oh, I don't know, Lindiana. I hope so, but we'll see. The one that I'm thinking, it's what I've got in my head, I think is way too complicated for my brain to comprehend. So I probably have to, like, that'll be one of those things where I work on it here and there as I learn more things. But I have another bag idea. I think my problem is my bag ideas are super complicated. Let me reword that. They're not super complicated. I think if I could get them down on paper and figure it out, I think it's complicated in my head. As far as how to do what I want. And I don't think it's going to be a complicated way of doing it. It's just, all right, sewing it with the base down, laying it flat. All right, so get my base, just kind of place it flat like that, and then go ahead and get stitching. Let's get her done, guys. Get it done. All right. Just make sure my pieces don't slip before I get it underneath the machine. There's my seam allowance right there. Okay. That is it. All right. So there we go. Here we go. Here I go again. What is this? There we go. Go slow. And I just got to keep an eye out, making sure my bag's not slipping off of the base. So we're already having. Now, if you're into staples, you could staple a little bit, a couple of staples. I really haven't had too much trouble with it slipping. But also, I think, too, it's the materials, too, that might cause it to slip a little bit. And I don't have, like, hemostats like some people do use. I have tweezers that I use to pull it. So I'm just kind of checking underneath here. It slipped a little bit, but it's not enough to really... oh, gosh, I don't know. I'm thinking it slipped more than I noticed it. I might have to get the stapler out. I'm sorry, I have to get Jack back out again. It slipped more than I want it to slip. A little bit's not big deal, and I don't really want to unstitch it too much because I don't, this vinyl does not take unstitching well. It's very, like I say, it's a very soft vinyl. So I'm just being careful, and I'm not going to do too much of it. Just enough to bring it over. And I'm going to have to use staples because it's slipping, and I'm not liking that. Just make sure if you have to use staples, you keep it. Try to keep it away from that seam allowance. Since it's a decent seam allowance, you shouldn't have too many problems. Just where it slipped. All right. I didn't have it slipping any slipping on my other ones, so. Okay, now I'm going to get back around here. I'm going to grab my tweezers and just hold it out. There we go. We will make it work. Sometimes staples do work. A lot of people don't like them, but I tell you what, sometimes you just got to have a staple or two, right? Sometimes you just got to have a staple. And then sometimes you got to work through a pucker here. We got a pucker here. We don't want love puckers. There we go. Just kind of work it down. My tablet is in the way. Just, there we go. Okay. All right, so let me get to my seam. Make sure my seam stays open. There we go. We're getting there. Just had that one spot right now so far. Oh, that's such a pretty bag, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody likes pink. There's a bag for you. All right, we're on the straightaway, guys. I'm going to go ahead, just in case, it's going into the curve is for some reason wants to slip. So I'm just going to throw a couple little staples here. There we go. We got it. I'm sorry about my bag. Pliers. You know, I have heard people do pliers. I have heard that. And Diane, you might have mentioned that before. My problem with pliers, it's hard for me to squeeze pliers. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. It's hard for me to hold a pair of pliers. I can't. I mean, I can sit here and do this with the bag, but as long as my hands aren't in a closed position, because they don't close, but there we go. Push that back a little bit. Plus these feet, I'm not going to lie, the purse feet that I have on here are rather big purse feet. They're little bucket purse feet. And they can make things a little difficult because they kind of like pull up on your fabric. I like the little button piece purse feet that Kasaya sells. I have some of those and I really like those. I just needed, number one, I needed to get rid of these bucket feet, but the gold on Kasaya's, she has the light gold, and the gold that I'm using for the buckles is not as light as the hardware, the hardware. All right, let's get these staples out. Yeah, that moved with the purse foot. The purse foot shifted. That shifted a little bit. I need to see something real fast. All right, so I need to just fix that. It slipped a little bit, but that's not going to change the shape because it didn't slip. But the seam, there we go. I just needed to make sure that was a little bit of a curve around. So I needed to fix that. That's not anything. Just checking my seams and making sure everything looks good. All right, let's get the staples out. Let's see if she, I'm going to see it refresh and see if she has you trim. Yeah, she does have you trim your seam allowance down a little bit. About half, approximately a half, not quite a half. Not quite a half, but you do want to trim it down some. So let's do that real quick. I really didn't think it would take this long. Honestly, I mean, really, I didn't think it would take this long. I had this bag almost half done, but whoa, you're getting a little too close there. If I didn't make such goofy mistakes, right? Too close to getting too close. All right, we're going to turn this inside out. Oh, I got to put the double-sided tape on the top real quick. All right, let's get the double-sided tape. Oh, I forgot to draw my darn line. I need to draw my line. Ugh. Give me a quick second. I gotta draw my darn line. But that should be quick because I just need... I can do this fast because if I have the starting, I can match it up. Honestly. Oh my goodness. Some people. And I'm one of them. Some people. There we go. I just need, usually when you do like the drop in and you draw your line, your most of it will kind of fall along with it. I got a string here on this bag. There we go. I have these. I don't know if they work well or not. I do have some. I use those to squeeze my prongs when I use like magnets and stuff. Maybe I'll try them next time. I think the whole house is about to sleep now, and I'm still down here plugging away. Oh, and you guys are still sticking with me. I appreciate it. And my battery on my phone. Oh, I just looked up. We got to hurry up. My battery's showing red. When I did the live last week, it was funny because I got done with it. All right, I'm going to fold this down. When I got done with the live, I got the low battery warning. I'm like, whew, I got that done just in time. Now this foam, since I did not put the foam out of my seam allowances, I have to clip and hold this down. Because it's wanting to puff up because there's so much darn thickness that it wants to stick back up. So I'm just going to throw, so I fold this down, throw in a couple clips in. We're going to do this fast because I'm going to have a dead phone. And if I just, guys, if I just disappear, I'm sorry. I tried to charge my phone before and I didn't get it fully charged before I did this. So if I drop off, I am so sorry. I will do a picture if you lose me. All we got to do is top stitch. Really. Drop it in and top stitch it. All right. I know that I haven't turned it right side out yet, but now we're going to turn it right side out. Do the big reveal. Oops, I got one piece that needs to be. Big reveal. Ooh. Oh, I wanted to ask something. Okay. Baby wubbers. That's funny. I wanted to ask a question too. And I think, Davina, if you're still here, you were talking about the Lynn's retreat next year. Because I kind of want to go. But I didn't know if you had to, I should have used black thread for my stitching, but that's fine. Didn't know because I know her price includes lodging, but I didn't know how that worked because I didn't know for sure, like if you shared with people or something. I wasn't sure how all that worked. So I'm trying to make sure I don't have any puckers or anything that looks funny. It looks fine. There we go. I wish I used different thread, but hey, that's another story, right? It's not bad, but okay. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? You don't have time to admire, Tony. All right, so let's set this stuff here. Let's do this fast and get it done. My battery dies. I'm watching my light go, whew. But anyways, I didn't know how that lodging worked. I don't know. I'm just curious because honestly, I've never done a retreat or anything like that before. Just remember when you fold it down that you've got that curved edge. I didn't think about to mention that when I was doing the other side. So just kind of go slow. But yeah, I didn't know how all that worked. I'm always worried about doing retreats. I mean, I can talk to a camera. I can talk to a wall. But when I'm with a bunch of people like that, I always tend to, I don't know. All right, so let's drop this in. Let's make sure we put it the right way. Back is this way. So let's get it in here. Oh, that's so pretty. Very, this is a very feminine bag. It is, anybody who likes pink would love this. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think Annette said that this is a color that she didn't go with. I'm going to tell you what. Because this was in her scrap pack. So I don't think it's available on Tulip Bee, but I love it. I love this color. I think it's so pretty. I got so much thickness due to that quilting, that whatchamacallit, I can't even think. It's so thick due to the, do you share a room? Oh, I don't know if anybody wants to share a room with me. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I snore. I'm just telling the whole world. And apparently I talk in my sleep a little bit too. My husband tells me that. I don't know. That makes me nervous. I don't know if people... Yeah, I made a comment. I said something to my husband. I said, I think we share rooms. I think it's like a group and the lodging's there and then we all share. And he's like, I wouldn't want to do that. But he's funny. He's not like me. He's not, he's, not the most outgoing person. I make up for it, what he doesn't, right? All right, guys. Let's get it top stitched. We got to do the buckles. All right. My battery's going to die. Let's do the buckles. I can top stitch it. The nose flutes. Oh. Oh, thank you, Phoebe. I know. Isn't it gorgeous? Let's get the buckles because I'm scared to death my battery's going to die. So let's do these buckles. And then if it dies while I'm top stitching, we can at least see it with the buckles. So when you get to your buckles, you get the measurement to punch the hole for your buckle to go through. So let's go ahead and get that done. So let me get my measurement. Let me hold my rule the right way. So get your measurement for your buckle. You're going to put a hole in the center. So I'm going to mark a center point. My lid's already off. Where's my, I got to make sure I get the center. Boom, there it is. So you're going to mark your center. Get the hole help the press here, the hole punch. It's not a press, it's a punch. There we go. There, that. Bingo. And then they're going to take it and feed it through your buckle like that. Boom. That pen, I just don't like using that pen. There's my, it gets everywhere. Okay. And then feed it back through. Oh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, I tell you, just gorgeous. Sorry, guys. I usually don't do goofy stuff, talk goofy stuff like that when I'm... I do that to my daughter. I just like to aggravate her. I can't believe she's still up. I hear her upstairs. I hear somebody upstairs. And I sure know it's not my husband. He's probably asleep by now. Or playing a game on his tablet. Thinking I was going to be up there so we could watch our show. Eek. Eek, eek, eek. Battery is still hanging in there. It'll probably die as soon as I turn it off. All right. Is a question, is snoring? Oh, really? That's interesting. Do you snore? Yes. So they pair the snorers up. Look at this gorgeous bag. Okay, let's top stitch. See if we can get through the top stitching. I have to top stitch with my bobbin thread at the top because it's a flatbed. I do want to go. I really do. I've never really wanted to go to one before, but I kind of want to go. I don't know. And it's a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure it's well worth the money that you pay. I know the swag dash was well worth the money going when I went to the Ohio dash. And I didn't regret it at all. Let's see. Let me increase my stitch length. There we go. Let's get going here. Hold on to my threads. Just got to make sure my handles are out of the way. Whew! Make sure when you do... Oh, I didn't put them out of the way before I started. Here I go again. Here I go again. I forgot to move my handles. Make sure your handles are out of the way before you start sewing your bag. Good gravy, Tony. Good gravy. All right. I'm so glad my thread matches my bag. That's all I can say. Yeah, this turned out so much nicer. I mean, it's like one of those, again, it's one of those things where you put it together, and I was trying so hard to figure out what to do, and I really wanted to quilt the bag, make one with quilted, because I don't know that I've seen any of the testers. I'm going to probably hit the phone if I don't watch it. I didn't see any of the testers. I don't think I've seen any testers that had a quilted bag. And I just... All right, we're just going to walk around it here. Just make sure you keep your handle out of the way. I got a big mess to clean up tomorrow. Sorry. My clip bumped my finger. That was all it was. Nothing tragic. Nothing tragic. We're almost done. Almost done. All right. Don't get too anxious. Don't get too anxious. One more stitch and then I'll hand crank that last one. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at this gorgeous bag. Oh, like what? What's wrong with my zipper? I got the tail all twisted up. There we go. Oh, look at that. All right. Let's do the final full reveal with my battery about to just die. Hi, Sandra. Hello for joining. I'm sorry. We're at the, I mean, you get time just in time for the reveal. Look at that. Gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous bag. It is, yes. Thank you so much, Lindiana. Yes. And I do have a link in my description for the pattern. So if you want to buy the pattern, you can go ahead and click on the link. I'm not affiliated or anything. It's just, I love the bag. Phoebe is a wonderful person. She is very, very sweet and was kind enough to allow me to do the tutorial for this bag. So I wanted to do a live as well because it's still within the first week of its release. I think it's been out just about a week today or tomorrow. So I wanted to do a live and go through me messing up the buckles. But I just wanted to do it because it's so cute. But anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and go. If anybody's still here that has not subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It would help me out a great deal. Please give me a like, a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that as well. I'm going to go ahead and go because my battery's about dead. And it is 10:45 here where I live. And I've been on this live for 3 hours. Woof. That's a lot. Everybody who stuck with me from the beginning, I so much appreciate it. And anybody who's joined after the fact, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody. So, yes, I did it, Phoebe. I did it. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Phoebe, for creating such an adorable bag pattern. It is such a cute bag. And thanks, everybody. All right, great. Thanks so much, Phoebe. I appreciate it. So everyone, have a great night, a great day. Phoebe, have a wonderful day. I know your day is just beginning. And good night, everybody. I'm going to go to sleep. Big long day tomorrow at work. Long day tomorrow. I got to work overtime since I clocked out at after 8 hours today. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, great night. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.